Well, good morning. Thank you for coming to play in Korpskey's Hideout. For those who are not aware, Korpskey is a conniving goblin who goes and steals animals and sells them and finds all sorts of odd beings and sells them either on the black market or goes from city to city and he's basically an animal tamer or animal wrangler or something like that. And we are joined today by four awesome players who are going to go and try to put a stop to this monster. So I'd like everyone to introduce themselves. I will start just in the Roll20. Let me turn on the stream. You can start off with Tessney.
Hi, my name is Tessney. I am a druid elf. My favorite thing to do is to turn into animals and just hang out as an animal. Yeah, I am familiar with at least Lupin, and not so much the other people, but I'm sure we'll get introduced on this journey.
Awesome. And do you have any pets, it looks like?
I do. I am an animal, basically, with the amount of time I spend in wild shape. I also have two little electric mice, Pika and Chew. I also have this little talking snail that doesn't have a name yet. It hasn't told me its name. It's still warming up to me. But I'm sure we'll have long conversations once it does talk. And I have a bunch of tribbles. If you can see in my hood, there's a bunch of little. I don't know if you guys know what a tribble is. Actually, do you want to do a little tribble emoji for me? Not emoji,
Sure.
but like so even I can see what they look like. I have a bunch of
Sure.
tribbles.
So you have 7 of these little fuzzballs.
Yes, and they're different colors, right?
Yes, they're
Or are they all
different
the same?
colors.
So I have like a bunch of little tribbles, and every day there is. Or is it every day? I have 1d6 babies.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly the stats, but if you have 2 together, they will breed very quickly, but then they don't live very long. So it
I
kind
have a
of
bunch of
always
tribbles.
maintains itself.
They're very cute.
So that is Tessney. Shifting over next is Alpha. Which maybe check the mic, it might be muted.
Yes, I am.
Oh, perfect.
Lupin or Alpha, as he goes by, ever since he's gotten more than he's more a lone wolf, is a human druid, ranger, and then he has his albino wolf named Beta and a small pack of young wolves. He is also a druid, uses wild shape most of the time in combat, following the form of wolves.
Fantastic. And then next over we have Talash.
Hello, I'm Talash, Yanti Pureblood, Bard Extraordinaire. I have a Triceratops named Lilith, who always tends to ruin the cabbage guy's day. The pest merchant. In the distance you hear, "My cabbages!" Oh, gotta go.
Excellent. And then lastly, we have the one and only Morthos. Actually, the one of many, Morthos.
The one and only. Hi, I'm Morthos.
The
I'm
original.
a tiefling warlock. Yeah, I'm Morthos the original. I'm a tiefling warlock. I do nothing bad at all, ever. I'm the nicest person in the world, and this is my Shadow Master, Fluffy.
Now, you are all joined together in this rather sporadic mission, which I feel like is mostly probably arranged by Alpha, unless you want to be to the contrary. But seeing as how Alpha, you saw Korpskey selling off a poor owlbear in one of the islands to some military in need of extra power in their forces. You've probably heard of Korpskey and his dealings and how he basically goes and, you could say, enslaves animals just for profit and reselling, or however you would like to describe it. But how would you all get together if Alpha, you're kind of starting up this kind of this what would you call it, this quest of going, you found out where.
He sent Tessney a letter asking her to join, because the very first mission they were in together, they were down at Salt, and they actually talked about freeing animals from the arena, but never kind of got to it because they figured the city god would be angry, and we kind of had to leave early, and they were both there for the owlbear thing. The others, he probably would have put something up in the asking for help in the guild hall when he's passing through, and I'm guessing the others answered the call.
I received a letter from the guild, and thus I'm here. Hello, Lupin. It is pleasant to see you.
Destiny, it is a wonderful pleasure to see you again. It's been far too long. I have missed your face.
Oh, thank you. No, sorry. I was going to introduce you. This is Pika, and this is Chew. And what is your name, little snail? And it hides in its shell. I think it likes it talks, but I think it's shy, so it doesn't talk with strangers.
Yep.
I'll just say that. Little shy snail that likes to hide in its shell.
Every animal has its own personality. They are unique as the bipedal animals. I said, also, I think you briefly met Beta before we left, we parted ways. Is the albino wolf?
I believe I did.
And I have found a few more friends along the way. This is Leo, Ral, Dolan, and Micah. Val was unfortunately caged, like many of the animals that this Korpskey now has caged. He's a little bit better, well, a little bit of an attitude, but the others are quite friendly.
What were their names? Leo, Growl.
Leo, Ral, Dolan, and Micah. I did take the first letter of each of the Ninja Turtles, but then I changed them a bit.
So you have a pack of 4 currently, and then plus Beta.
Yes.
And you guys would see, as you're kind of meeting up again, maybe a familiar face, maybe not, but you see the 1T Pureblood Talash coming in, and because Lilith is so large at this point, despite still being a baby, are you riding her or just kind of walking side by side?
He'd currently be walking alongside her. Talash likes to pass himself off as human. If he has, I don't know if Yanti purebloods have pointy ears or not, but if he does, he would like hide them behind his hair. But he tries to pass himself off as human a lot of the times, so they don't see the suggestion hit coming.
Yeah, so he's incognito basically and approaching the group, and this job doesn't really have any reward or anything, unless Alpha, you're wanting to spit out any of your coins to kind of pay for it, but this is kind of more like just a just cause to go in and call out for those of similar mindset to go rescue any of these captured animals.
Wouldn't have been his first thought to put up a reward, where he would have asked for help originally. But if anyone demanded a reward, he has little use for coin. He has some, but not much.
I mean, Talash just figured he'd get any reward off of Korpskey's corpse, if it comes to that, or his loot.
And that's a fair assumption. Despite having been maimed previously, this goblin, Korpskey, the one-armed, has since made a construct arm and has done very good for business, actually. And he's become fairly well known across the different cities as kind of like a black market shady dealer. If you need something, he can kind of get it for you type thing. So he's definitely he's not a poor merchant at this point. So there's always that.
As much as I hate what this here goblin is doing, we are here for justice, not vengeance. I have to remind myself that as well.
At that point, as you're saying that, in walks Morthos.
I think not all
Is
of
this
us.
where we're meeting to rob the goblin? I mean, free those poor animals?
Yes. Humans will a whole lot locking their own kind in chains and cages, but will have little concern when it is an animal. At best, this creates pet situations, which since many humans cannot communicate directly with their animals as us druids, it can be tolerated. But the way he does not treat them as pets or as individuals. They are just merely merchandise to him.
Also,
Neat. Let's
Adrian,
go rob the goblin.
I probably would
So-
be a saber-toothed tiger over a giant hyena. Just saying.
I can. find
Yeah, you're
some-
higher level. You're pure blood druid, so you can get to some of those higher forms.
Circle of the moon, baby.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, I can do higher forms too, but go multi-classing into ranger for the special animal companion has slowed some of the druid progress.
Okay, I'll find a good mini for you. In the meantime, Lupin, you have found the location of Korpskey's hideout, and it's actually not in Holland's Rest, but fairly nearby, closer to the south end. You're on the map now. So if you go down through the south entrance and then go down the south road, it's going to be up in the kind of hills areas, maybe about a half a day's travels away from Holland's Rest. And so you can get there basically by midday or after afternoon potentially, and you are all able to proceed. So I'm going to grab just a basic mini.
In the travel time, he would also try to catch up with the test. It's been a long time, and he'd also tell you about the this egg he has. He's keeping it warm in his pack, and it's like we found these. Best term we had, not terminology we had for them, were dragon chickens in this cave. I'm hoping that they can be tamed one day, or even though
Do you
they
mean
are.
like a drake?
No, it was quite chicken-like, but crossed with it's. I think it is some form of monstrosity. But why, perhaps created initially by magic, they bred and mated like any other animal.
Well, that's very strange.
Hmm.
I know a male duck is sometimes called a drake. So, are you sure you're not getting it confused with a duck egg?
They could turn people to stone temporarily.
Ah.
Oh, that's not a duck.
Sounds like a duck to me.
That sounds like a duck more than a
He
yeah.
would say this specifically. Walks like a duck, turns people to stone like a duck. Must be a duck.
Must be a duck.
It's called.
Hmm. Need a pencil.
It isn't a canine like I am more connected with, but even if it doesn't fit well with the pack, I will make sure it finds a good home once it is trained.
Perfect. Adrian, I kind of have a going personality. I was thinking for the saber-toothed tiger, and that picture fits it perfectly.
Okay, I'm glad. Thank you to Google. I don't have the artist, but thank you for drawing this, whoever you are. So you can basically just
Whoever
time
you
jump.
are.
Can all just time jump up to the entrance of the caves of, in these hills. So I'll copy over your minis.
I was gonna change one of my spells over real
That,
quick
that's fine.
because I don't think dark skin is gonna be something I'm really using.
Can be useful, but it takes time because you got to cast it on yourself and then change into an animal form. So it's
It's a concentration spell. Where are my pencils?
Okay. Oh, and I need the dogs too. All the animal companions. You're bringing them all, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this caravan almost of animals and druids and everybody is making their way down the road with some conversation, some silence, just depending on kind of what's going on. And you see the point of the one of the mountains here, and you can tell exactly with a certain time of day, based off of your information, that if you align the sun with the mountain in a certain way, it points straight to the cave. And so, Alpha, you can make a survival check for me, if you please.
this does not really be. Okay. So plus 6. This has nothing to do with scent. So
I wish I could have one of those high quality candy. We're not doing that now, baby.
15.
So 15, yes, you are able to find it pretty well without any delays. And you can get here basically by about 2 p.m. and you see this big opening, which looks like it's fairly well-known spot. Like travelers have set up old camps in here, and you can see like a little fire pit by the entrance, and just kind of with this is 15, you can tell it doesn't look like it's been really active at all recently. But it seems to go further down into the cavern.
Okay. Once we have found the place, you can say, "Remember, you must work as a." It's like, remember, we must work as a pack. We each have individual strengths and weaknesses. We must go. The teamwork is important, and that we are here to free slaves, not for vengeance. If some of you wish to relieve the goblin of his coin, I do not care. But do not. And we can. But we should not act in a vengeful way. I mean, I'm not going to spend actual 10 minutes speaking here, but we use inspiring leader,
Okay.
and I can't remember if I can how many people I can do, but everyone can get 8 temporary hit points. There's a limit on the number of people, though.
Up to 6, so everybody can get it.
Sweet.
One more time.
Uh,
I interrupt for a second there.
He uses inspiring leader and spends about 10 minutes kind of going over a plan, and that so up to 6 people can get 8 temporary hit points.
Now you can choose up to 6 friendly creatures, including yourself. And now, because there's actually a lot of animal companions, I will need you to tell me which 6. The pack counts as 1. Pika and Chew, if they always stay together, it can combine you into one token.
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
Okay.
Since there's 4 humanoids, I think by default he would go to the 4 humanoids, and I can't. Can I use it myself?
You can. Yes.
He'd probably go to the 4 humanoids, and then the his animal companions by default. So.
And you said that was 6 temp HP?
8. My level plus my charisma.
Gotcha.
Okay. So that's Tess, Alpha, Talash, Morthos, Wolfpack, and Beta. Is that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Adrian's calculating how much damage he's allowed to throw at us. No.
So inside, you see a couple old campsites. There's a little raked off area where there's just a big square path, like open space for a tent to maybe go. But again, nobody's been here in the recent several weeks at the at the least.
Traffic seems to be light. His business must be slowing, or
Business here. I remember him having a wagon.
and he flew off after depositing the angry owl bear in a cage. I don't think that owl bear ever told us its name either, despite the weeks we spent traveling with it. And that's what we want to.
Honestly, animals most of the time don't consider themselves to have names. Names aren't necessarily something they go by. They go by scents and sounds.
Yes, one of my stranger adventures was into another realm, and this hat. He has a wolf hat on. It's like this wolf hat provides me with the scent of a wolf, even in human form.
Sorry, I'm just changing this because I don't think I'm gonna need water walk for this particular game.
So there's just the slight echo of dripping water in the distance further down into the cave.
I can do some fine traps if we need that.
Couldn't hurt, even though his camp is hidden. That doesn't mean he didn't put up defenses. I'll sniff the air and just try to see if there's anything he can figure out from just looking into the cave or smelling into the cave.
Okay, we'll
So-
roll perception.
If it helps, I do have locate animal.
Really?
Do you need a specific animal, though?
Well, if we know what type of animal Korpskey has, we can try to aim for that.
Can I see any tracks or smell any particular smell?
Yeah, so with an 18, you can basically deduce that all of the front end of the cave here has been used by just passing travelers because the cave mouth is so large, it provides great shelter from the elements. Excuse me. But further on into the cave, if you choose to go further, you can actually see that there are little lights illuminating the back of the cave, whereas it should be dark, it looks like there's a little glow further on if you proceed down the tunnel.
Seems to be the right spot still. You can, are they magical, like drift globe type things, or are they like torches that have been left that will need to be changed?
It looks like it's a fairly consistent light. However, there's some of them do seem to be slightly flickering, not in the sense of like a torchlight where it's casts shadows everywhere, but it's further on into the distance, so you probably would need to get closer. But it doesn't look to see 100% even the way like a magic light would be.
He'll try to stealth, but he will maneuver his way up there, taking the lead, still in humanoid form, and with Beta and Beta's got better stealth than he does.
We're doing some stealth.
Are we trying to be stealthy? We're trying to
he,
be
is,
stealthy.
he is at least. The young wolves are not quite very good at being stealthy, but him and Beta are playing.
Stealth.
If we're trying to be stealthy, a saber-toothed tiger has a +6 to stealth.
Are you going to transform?
I kind of want to find traps first, see if I can do that, because I can't really do as much magic when I'm an animal.
Okay, so your party is proceeding down toward through, and then we're going to have kind of a group pass-fail on the stealth checks. So if anyone
I want to see real quick how stealthy a Triceratops can be. Fairly stealthy.
Wow.
Jeez.
Pretty
Better
decent.
than the pack and Warthos.
So okay,
Do I need a roll as well, Adrian?
yeah, unless you want to auto-fail it.
Okay, hold on.
Daddy is working on the game.
My gosh. Why is
So but Alpha, you rolled which one?
The first one is me. The 21.
Adrian, it's not going in roll 20. It's okay. I don't
21
know
is
if this computer is set up to
Oh, it doesn't
have
have
D&D.
it needs to.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to
21
just?
is me, 23 is Beta, and 10 is the pack.
I'll just roll on here. 20 plus 2. Hey!
Woo!
That's good enough for your animals too, because they're small. Morthos, you failed, but what about Fluffy? Is he going as well?
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to roll his. Let's see, Fluffy. I was looking through my familiar list for something called Fluffy, and I couldn't find it. Whoops. Fluffy is barely stealthier than I am.
So that's a fail. However, 5 to 3, you do pass the group stealth check, so you are able to proceed very quietly down through the cave. There's a couple splashes as the wolf pack steps into a puddle, and Morthos clumsily knocks over a stack of rocks someone had made and clatters to the ground. But for the most part, everything is very quiet and stealthy. And
Can I roll perception as well?
Tessie rolls so well. I for a little bit there, I think she's missing. I'm like,
I have a plus
Yeah.
7.
So
So
an 11. So you
11, yeah.
you do not really see anything apart from these faint lights in the distance as you're gonna kind of go down. The cave seems to descend, and then you'll go into the next map. Is there anything else you want to do before you proceed?
I would also like to roll perception.
Okay.
Talash can't see it. He's just like looking at Morthos like, you be more loud.
Lilith's big butt is in front of Talash.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to think too. You're walking
Well,
behind the
okay,
giant drops.
What is the marching order? Who's in front? Is it Alpha?
I assume he would be up front.
I'd imagine I'm pretty close to the front.
Okay. So I will let you kind of arrange, but I figure Alpha's probably in the front since he was the first one going in, and then Talash, you were really stealthy as well, so you probably were chasing after then Morthos kind of in the back. Is that? And then animals kind of with their masters and stuff.
Yeah. Beta would be just behind, would either be with me or the pack.
Okay, so if Alpha, you're in the front, please roll a dexterity saving throw as all of a sudden you trip over a wire.
I should have done fine traps.
And
I
since
thought
we're
you
still going to
did.
be on this, I didn't hear anyone say they actually did it, so
Yeah.
I just saw people looking for stuff with perception checks. So you being in the front.
Can I do a dexterity to? I wouldn't see this wire with my 11.
No, you didn't see it. It needed a 20 to spot the wire itself. However, Lupin, you kind of stumble over it. You snapped the wire. However,
Oh, no.
you are not entirely sure what is the result of that. So make a quick perception check for me.
This is about 5 guys who treated the football like it was a fucking IED.
Somebody's watching football.
I imagine I don't get advantage because it has nothing to do with smell.
I don't think you can really smell it. However, you do see it, and you can jump outside of the way as you see a giant blob falling from the ceiling.
Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely.
So Lupin dives for cover, and right as he hits the ground, this big splat lands right behind him in between Tess and Alpha. And I'll need everybody to roll initiative, please.
That's a
lovely.
clever trap. To trip wire to the gelatinous cube.
Oh, lovely. I'm gonna have to do it in Roll20, even though in D&D Beyond, even though I.
Do you want to have me run up and install Beyond 20 onto the computer really quick?
I have a +2 to my initiative, by the way.
Why did it? That's weird. Why did it just put me the 16 as the wolf pack? Okay, but I guess they have the same initiative. I guess all three of us have the same initiative bonus.
Yeah, I don't want to split up people from each other, so on your turn you do all of your tokens. So wolf pack will just mean alpha as well.
Okay.
So if that is everybody, the wolf pack does get to go first, starting with alpha.
Well, I accidentally re-rolled it again,
Oh.
and it changed it to a 22. So my first one was a 6.
Okay.
Is it
Well, I
Rogue
will
edition?
keep the first one. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I understand. That you should.
So if
But
that's
I
the
was
case,
hoping it would. I was
Yeah.
hoping it would do it as the other one, but yeah, if we're doing in all my characters
Here.
the same.
here, what I'll do is I'll put it in as alpha if you like that better, and I'll just manually do it. But
Would love back.
there you go. So
Just realized I forgot to put on Jack of all trades.
Okay, I'm gonna do some testing. I'm not actually shooting a longbow. I got it.
So,
Okay.
Talash and Tess, who do you want to decide who goes first amongst you both, or do you want to go by dex?
So apparently, Jack of all trades adds 1 to your initiative as well. So that
Oh.
would put my initiative up to 17.
Okay, so that decides it as Talash. You are the first to react. There's this big splash, and there's this towering 5 foot. Well, it's not towering, but it's a 5 foot Jello cube. It looks like, and inside of it are just floating particles of rock, debris, bone. There's a skull in there of some
Any
small
metal?
creature. It doesn't look like there's metal. No.
Well,
That's the one wonderful thing with gelatinous cubes. Wizards use them like vacuum cleaners.
here we go, Eldritch Blasting again.
That will hit.
Oh,
Don't kill Gerbert.
Okay, so
So both of those hit. Gelatinous cubes have an armor of 6. Sorry, so pretty much
Oh,
auto
wow.
hits for everybody unless you roll a 1. I'm assuming. So that's going to be 8 plus 15 points of force damage as you just blast away parts of the Jello.
really easy to hit, hard to see.
So that is 2 Eldritch Blasts, which will both hit, and then anything else Talash is doing?
That's it for now. He's holding back Lilith, not trusting gelatinous blood.
Okay, so then next up would be Tess. Now this thing landed about 5 feet in front of you. Alpha jumped ahead and just dodged it, and the wolves are kind of scattered around. But what would Tess do?
if, as you said, it's easy to hit, I would probably poison spray it.
Okay.
Which is instantaneous. Extend my hand. I have to make a con save or take 1d12 poison damage. Sweet! Morthos, who's Gerbert?
So con save of 11, so that probably fits.
No, that won't work. Spell save DC is 14.
So is that a 12 damage?
Yes.
The cube is Gerbert. Don't kill Gerbert.
Do I know if gelatinous cubes? Can I roll a knowledge check? Do I know if they like if they have any resistances or such? I'm not sure what Tess would know as far as
Yes, we
I heard you briefly, Morthos, when you said the cube is Gerbert.
Are you saying that in character?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking Adrian if I can roll for a knowledge.
Yeah, you can roll knowledge.
Okay. Knowledge what?
Just intelligence bonus.
Just pure straight intelligence?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do... This is not nature, because it's a...
I rolled a nat one.
Yeah,
I have
so
no idea.
you're like, "Ugh, it's weird, and you have the inclination to poke it. Only your turn is over. On its turn, it is going to actually see the wolf pack as the most amount of bodies in one spot, so it is going to move towards them, and that will be needing to roll
No, I don't
Dex 12
completely
save.
forgot the character sheet. 12.
Okay, guys, let's go get some food.
I'll mute you, or if you want to mute yourself.
What kind of food? Chicken nugget?
The save is dexterity save, right?
Yeah, Dex 12.
They have a. I think they get the pack.
Yeah, so there's 4 of the wolves, Leo, Grell, Dallin, and Micah. They start to howl, and then the gelatinous cube just kind of swoops over them, and as they get pinned with their hind legs, they struggle, and then it engulfs the rest of them, and they will take how much on a failed save. The cube enters their space, and they take 3d6 acid. That is not good.
No, it is not.
That's 14 points. Now they do have temp health, so that would actually be very good for them.
So the 8 temp health goes away,
6
and
points.
then there's 6.
Okay.
And
You want to
Now
see
what
roll,
that-
you want to roll a d4 to see which if it's which wolf gets brought down to 0 hit points.
so it would be the third name would be Dolan. Dolan gets knocked out.
But that is the ooze's turn. I don't know if it can do anything else besides that one attack. So next up is Morthos.
Isn't Alpha before me?
Oh yeah, you're right. All of your wolves get to go. I don't think they went on your turn actually. So if they wanted to move,
Well, the cube still went before me. Cube went at 15, and
Oh.
when you changed my name, it put me 0, and it didn't.
So it would have been Talash, Tess, the cube. So
Cube.
so then Alpha does go next. My apologies.
Okay, that's right. I didn't think it was gonna be a big deal, so I didn't say anything. He is gonna step up. He doesn't want to go into change into wolf form because he still needs to be able to heal and doesn't want to use all those yet. Using acid against this thing is probably not going to be very helpful. So he will actually probably stay back where he is and throw fire at it. So he lights his hand with produce flame and throws it at it.
To roll a 6 or higher. That hits.
And so 2d8 fire damage. Five damage, and he'll say, "Kill the cube, and then we can help Dolan."
Okay. How about Beta?
Beta will seeing his people he is. Come on, dice roller. D20 plus 7. 24 hits, I assume. Bite is 2d4 plus 5. As Beta gets quite angry and tries to free her pack the best way she knows how, by biting the intruder.
Okay.
9 damage. Now the pack is inside the cube at the moment, right?
Correct.
So they need to do dex save to try to get out.
Yes. And the DC is 12.
Has it passed my turn yet?
No, not yet. So
The other wolves, not being like stuck in that thing, they try all fleeing, but then they don't go too far once they realize Dolan is not coming with them.
okay. So the 3 other dogs are out.
Yes.
So then next up would be Morthos.
2 questions. How big is this cube left?
Mm,
Doesn't
It's
shrink
got-
when it gets. I don't think.
I like to imagine that when you're doing damage to it, it's like chipping away at the cube. So it's still like a 5x5, but there's big holes and gaps of melted goo and it's puddles that have been splotched out of it, and it's kind of ridden a little bit, but it's not quite to the point where you'd see there's still over half left.
So it's not Gerbert sized.
Nope.
I will shoot it with 3 beams of Eldritch Blast.
What does this look like for Morthos?
Big black beams of energy coming out of his eyeballs.
His eyes, okay. Cool.
I have okay. There it goes.
So the nat 1 will
A
miss.
30. Even though it's a 12.
Yep, nat 1's auto miss.
So that would be 9 damage and 15 damage, so 24 damage.
24 damage. So you take a huge big chunk of this out, but it doesn't react in any way. It just is shrinking down slightly.
It doesn't what? I couldn't hear you there.
Oh, it's still up and everything, but you've shrunken it quite a bit by destroying portions of it.
I think. What did
Out
you
of
say? I'm sorry, my
curiosity.
Discord cut out.
Out of curiosity, does Morthos still have the glass container that his Herbert was in before?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking how big it is,
Okay. All right, I just got back.
because I want to cap. I want you cube.
This one is pretty large. So, are you doing anything
Wow,
else on your
man.
turn?
I guess. Fluffy's gonna go up and bite it.
Okay, so that's another 7. Okay, as Fluffy gets up to it and its jaws kind of go through this jello, it seems to be almost at the point where the bonds holding it together are almost destroyed, and it's turning more and more liquidy than solid.
I wanna. Can I get it to make a strength save, or can cubes be not prone?
No, they can't.
Yeah, well, the wolves do the same
Okay.
thing, but I didn't figure you could knock it prone.
Yeah, no. If you did, it would just roll over to another side. It would do the same thing. But Talash, was Talash responding?
What happened? Sorry, I missed the thing.
Just combat the jello. The cube is getting to be smaller and smaller, and it's getting more runny than its normal thickness.
Oh, here we go, Eldritch Blessing again.
Two warlocks. Two
So
warlocks and 2 druids.
with that last beam, Talash, how does your Eldritch Blast look?
I feel kind of like this icy blue type color. As he just
Here,
kind of
Emma,
like swings out his arm and like towards the thing, just blasts it. Kind of like Dragon Ball Z, where they just kind of throw out the key type thing.
Mm-hmm. And as the two beams hit the cube, there's two enormous splotches of goo that fly up into the air from the force of the attack, and then the rest of the jello just melts down into the ground and just coats the ground with a sizzling ooze that just kind of slowly dissolves, leaving a wet, prone, unconscious form of one of the wolves, Dowlin.
Rush over to Dowlin and use heal light wounds. Probably to be level 1 should be more than enough. Oh, maybe not. At least 3 hit points.
Yep, that's enough to revive the wolf. But he looks singed and wet and kind of walks with a little bit of a limp for a little bit.
I thought, look, heal light wounds would have been
I thought you would. I thought you for sure would have gotten it to max with it.
But he's got 3 of his 5 hit points back.
Yep. So, what is everybody
Adrian,
else
did
doing?
you say two pieces of the flew off?
Yeah, the goo is like a puddle on the ground. Just think like if you spilled water on the ground, it like has that coat of just wetness, but it's kind of steaming a little bit. If you want to go and investigate, you can.
No, it looks dead. I wanted a cube.
Can I investigate it?
Sure.
Hold on.
You can roll a nature check or a art.
I will
I don't
totally
think
take it.
Arcana.
Nature.
Yeah, just do nature. Yeah, it's dead.
Okay.
Alpha is too busy fussing over Dowlin to mess with the cube. I mean, he doesn't really consider it much of an animal anyway. It's more of a thing.
Mhm.
But
Hey, Adrian, you can hear me right now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
That's really weird. My headphone on-off volume switch doesn't work. Sorry.
You
if
might have
it's
to use
making
Discord.
noise. Yeah. I hear crying.
Yeah, the kids are crying, and so is Morthos apparently. That's Morthos in the background.
I did not know you were so passionate. After he makes the Dowlins okay, it's like, didn't know you were so passionate about oozes. But it is good that you care. Perhaps we shall find others. This one was clearly set up as trained to kill.
I had a Gerbert once. A troll killed it. Technically, the fall killed it.
We're blaming the troll. It was the troll's fault. We taught that troll a lesson, though. We summoned a demon lord.
He wonders if he thinks if he could if he's just calling all oozes Gerbert or if that was its name, and but he considering his sadness doesn't ask. But he kind of looks over at maybe he looks over at Tess and he kind of quizzically in the eyes. Is Gerbert its name or what he thinks all oozes are Gerbert.
Are we in a new area? I saw the map changed.
Yes, assuming you're progressing down further into the cave.
Am I muted?
No, you're not muted.
No?
No, you're audible. So, if you
Sorry.
So I am assuming that you're going down to
Yes.
the next area. So
You'll probably keep a little bit more of
Yeah.
a distance between having Beta stay back a little bit further with the pack and try to keep a little more distance
Okay.
from the pack to keep them safe more. But he's still close to the front.
So for marching order, are you having them go down with Tesni or Morthos or Talash, or unless you guys, if your marching order is different, you can modify your tokens and everything. But so far I have it Alpha, Tess, Morthos, Talash. If you want to change that to a different order, you can. Okay.
I'm fine with that order.
Yeah, but I think they would be,
So
he would
roll
have them
perception to
stay a
hold
little bit
me.
further, yeah, kind of more
Or
behind
what
him.
did I miss?
Just marching order.
Okay, where am I?
Where you can choose to be if you want.
So
Yeah,
what?
that makes sense. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we'll just say if you're having them stay back, then you want them to be back one space, which is basically back with Tess, or two spaces back with Morthos, or
He'd probably have them stay back more around tests to give him a little bit in case more traps show up.
okay. And then it looks like
Do you want
this.
me to actually find traps? How far ahead can we see?
So as you kind of progress down past where the first trap was, you can see the cave actually begins to expand and get bigger. You can see there's this big whole pocket into the mountain.
I see
There's
120 feet in.
Yeah, because up ahead you can see these little glowing orbs, which are kind of hanging or posted on different, like these branches of old trees that have either grown in here or something. There's little lights that are hanging on them, and there's actually a little campfire which is active over here but empty. There doesn't seem to be any sign of anything else, and the cave does go further on ahead as well.
Okay. There. Let me mark one of my second level spells as you.
Okay, Morthos, do you want to make a perception check if you're looking for more oozes?
Can I also roll perception with my find traps as well?
If you're casting Find Traps, what does that look like as Testy is touching through the arcane magic? I guess it's more druidic magic.
For some reason, what comes to my mind off the bat is I'm just kind of sensing the earth and the area around me, and it kind of looks like Toph as she uses, her earthbender touch sense type of thing. So like waves radiate around me. But it might not necessarily be visible. Also, as I'm looking around, it's just like a magical waves that go around me, and oh, that's strange.
So as you cast the spell, you can see that perfectly blended into the rock up by that campfire. There is basically a trapdoor, essentially.
Hey, Lupin, there's a trapdoor by the campfire. And I also wanted to look around as well.
Okay, with the 21 perception, you can see a little bit further up. There is another trapdoor over here, but it doesn't look like it's a trapdoor. It's more like a hidden door. 21 perception, you can see there's these 7 glowing globes that are emitting kind of the soft yellow light, and then the firelight is illuminating everything else, so everyone can pretty much see. The lights themselves are in what looks to be a very well or uniquely crafted jar. It could have been like maybe an elf or maybe a gnome smith who's done a lot of glass work and stuff. But it's kind of like a frosted face on all these jars, and there's light coming out from within.
Is it actually a face, or just you say that because it's
A
the
face?
surface?
Surface.
Yeah. Okay.
No, with a 13, can I see the traps he pointed out by the fire?
Yeah, if she points it out, you can go in and almost like get a closer look investigating, and you can find it that it's about a 10 by 10 area, just this whole platform in front of the fire pit, which seems to open up in the middle and drop down.
The fire seems to be a lure or draw to draw people to the pit, but unless this fire was started by magic, it's been maintained.
Yeah. With a 13 perception and kind of being over by the fire at this point, and kind of next to the trap, you can. Oops, did I just put you on the wrong layer? Sorry. You can tell that the fire pit doesn't really have a lot of logs in it. You can make an Arcana check if you want.
I'm not very good at that. Intelligence is my low stat, but we can try with a -1.
Yep, that's enough. This is a magical fire. It looks like it's on a 24-hour timer.
So it turns off and on.
Once you can't, like if someone has a casted spell or if there's some sort of whatever causes it to start, it will last for 24 hours. It's like a bonfire.
Oh, okay. The bonfire spell from Xanathar, maybe? Or something similar.
Something similar, you would assume.
It's like, this spell seems to be... This seems to be triggered with... this is not a constant effect. Someone is still here. Avoid the fire. Its light will make us visible and the trap is there. There's gotta be someplace deeper in the cave.
I don't know what you mean by it's not a constant effect. Does that mean this is a magical fire?
It seems to be. Seems to be created by magic, and I think once cast, it's created and lasts for a certain period of time, and then will fade out and be recast.
Someone is here. There's a possibility still, so be on guard.
They are definitely wary of visitors, and not necessarily. And they more than just don't want to be found. They want to scare people out, or hurt them if they come too far. This is more than just rats hiding in a hole.
Does anybody want to try to disable this trap?
I can try.
I'll do it.
Both of you volunteer at the same time and kind of like look at each other awkwardly.
Can I just go
You could
around
say.
it?
Yeah, if you know where it is, you can just walk around it, or if you want to have someone try to get in and disable it, or what would you
I'm
like
gonna
to
go
do?
around it.
He would just walk around it too.
I was just gonna shoot it with magic.
So what are you doing?
I'm walking around it now that we all determined that, but I was gonna shoot it with magic. That's how I was gonna disable it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to.
You know, this blast means it's disabled, right?
Do you want to try?
Sure, sounds like a good idea. I'll shoot one blast at this one and one at that one over there.
Okay. The magic bursts forwards from Morthos's eyes. The rock face splinters, and then all of a sudden it kind of collapses inward, revealing a chute that goes down into some darkness. And then over here, the rock face splinters as well, and you can see that it actually was a illusory door, and it was like a little hatch of goblin sized, you might say.
Subtle. Very subtle.
Can I go over and examine this more closely?
Yep, it looks to be a passageway going down. There's a flight of steps that kind of curls around, almost like a curly staircase.
Is there anything else in this big cave, or is pretty much the way we want to go in this trapdoor?
You could explore it further if you wanted to. It looks like it goes into what looks to be like an underground river further up ahead. The stalagmites and stalactites get more busy, you could say. And then apart from just the fire, the trap door that with the chute going down, the one that you found, and then the 7 little globes. That's all that's in here.
Okay, yeah. I eventually do want to take one of those glass things and put it in my bag of holding because it's quite pretty. But I think for now we want to check down this door.
Okay. So as you which one are you taking? Just the one closest to it?
The one that was hidden.
So you're going down that steps, but you said you're taking one of the yellow globes? Or no?
Oh,
Or did
for
I
now I
misunderstand?
wasn't planning on taking it. I was going to get it on the way out.
Oh, okay. So you want to proceed down the stairway?
So
I
this is
think so.
it's a stairway. It's not a ladder, so they could
Yeah.
still walk.
No, it's just steps.
This one was that was a trap door for for falling to their death.
Yeah, I
Or
mean
was there actually...
you can't see down the bottom of it, but it just is a black tunnel going straight down.
Okay, yeah, let's go down the one with stairs.
How deep is it? I have double sight up to 120 foot.
Yep, it keeps going past that.
Yep, fuck that hole.
Okay, so if you
I wonder if Fluffy can fly.
They
Sorry,
didn't want to
continue.
do
Ignore
more
me.
than they wanted to do more
No.
than scare people away.
I'm not going to say this as tests, but anyone can fly until they go splat.
so
Alas, she's right.
so if you are going to proceed down to the staircase, or
Yeah, down the staircase.
so it wraps around about one flight of stairs until you get to what looks to be an old mine shaft, and there's a little mine cart. Actually, there's a set of them. There's 3 all connected in a row, and there it goes down into a tunnel.
Little mine cart.
And tracks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how far this tunnel goes, and I don't think all of us are going to fit into one mine cart.
There's 3.
Oh, 3 mine carts?
Yeah, there's 3
Yeah,
connected
but
in a
so
row.
all the wolves and Lilith.
Lilith is how heavy again?
350 pounds.
I feel like that would be enough for Lilith to take its own cart.
Yeah.
So how do you want
How
to
many
in the
people
carts?
can fit in a cart?
I mean, you could
Perhaps.
with Lilith, she would probably take her own. But there's probably enough room for almost maybe 6 people to squish into one cart if you wanted to.
So
So we could fit.
the party fits. The party goes in one car, the wolves go in another, and Lilith in another.
You could squeeze if you wanted to, but you'd be very cozy. But if you wanted
never
to,
I think it would be more comfortable traveling together. Traveling on wheels would be unnerving for it's an unusual way of traveling.
I've never done
wanted
it
to
before.
skip the carts, the tracks are on rails, and there's like they're all on this you've seen train tracks. They're like a rock structure with the tracks over it, and it just descends down into this tunnel, which is black. You don't see any more of those globes up ahead. It's just darkness. Morthels can probably see the furthest ahead, and
I've got dark vision if that helps too.
yep, dark vision.
Yeah.
Those will both help, but because the tracks just go on for such a long period of time, it's
Mhm.
still kind of the same issue. You can see the tracks going straight and then slowly dipping down into the darkness.
He probably
Does-
has flame in his
How
hands.
deep is the dip?
You can't really tell from here. If you want to go exploring, you can.
Do we want to go grab some of those lights?
Yeah, it might not hurt.
When I did Find Traps magic, it it didn't ping those lights, so I think it should be safe enough to grab. So I do think I want to go.
Caught, it would be easier than this. Actually, it'd be easier than maintaining this fire. I guess I am concerned, though. I mean, could the cart lead to something dangerous? Or is the cart how he intended to travel back and forth from his lair? But if he is transporting cages and animals, it seems like an awful hard way to get in and out.
Give me my chair. Give me the other chair.
Adrian, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, I was gonna go back and grab a light. Did anybody else want me to grab them one?
I would appreciate one.
Okay. There are 7 out there,
I'll
so
take
if
a
you
Gerbert.
want to try to look for a Gerbert, you can roll another investigation check if you
Yeah.
want. Are you looking down in
There's
the
gonna be a
mine?
Gerbert here somewhere, guys.
Are you looking in the mine
Yes.
area?
Yes.
So
I'll find nothing.
Yep, what you find is basically there's a panel with a bunch of levers on it. You can see that there's the 3 mine carts. There's 2 sets of tracks. The ones that the mine carts are on are closest to you, and then the second set is on the other side, adjacent to it, but there's no carts on it. And then up ahead is just the shaft, and it just continues on.
Okay, Adrian, I'm gonna grab 3 jars.
Okay. So Tess, you pick up 3 of the jars. They're easy to get. They're all just hanging on just like a naturally. There's no magic suspensions or anything. But as you pick one up, it's basically like a 32-ounce jar type thing, and it's emitting this kind of soft glowing yellow light. You see a tiny hand touch the surface once you pick it up.
There's a hand inside.
A tiny little hand. And then some of the light seems to like flutter, and it's not steady anymore.
I yell. Actually, no, I don't yell. I was gonna yell at Alpha. Can I go and collect all the jars now at this point, and look carefully in all of them and see if I see fairies.
We're specifically looking for that. Yes, you can see that there are 7 fairies stuck in these little jars, emitting this light.
Oh no!
Oh.
Can I speak to them in Sylvan? Are you okay? Can I yeah, I want to speak to them.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like speaking to them through the jars. Nothing's working for that.
Can we open that jar up?
Yeah, I'm gonna open the jar.
Yeah, you wanna try? Roll a strength check.
Oh gosh, strength. My
One a
incredible.
few steps away from them when they're opening these jars.
I think everyone else was downstairs by the carts. I came back up.
Oh, you went upstairs. Okay.
Oh, so
Yeah.
am I even there? I don't.
I'm gonna play with my
Yeah.
lever in the corner.
Does that open the jar?
An 11? No, it wouldn't.
And can
It's
I
sealed.
get something out of my bag that would help my grip be better? Maybe, pliers or.
Kalash assist in trying to open the jar?
He's downstairs still.
My understanding is she's the only one up there.
Yeah, if she goes down, maybe, but doesn't sound like
Yeah.
she is.
So I'm after noticing this, I was gonna yell at you to come help me, but I don't feel like yelling, and I don't want to scare these poor creatures.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna try to keep opening it with do I have anything that's
So, quick question. Would it be a strength check or a strength save?
It'd be an athletics check or a strength check technically.
Oh, sorry, I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Do I just go to my strength stat in general? Roll from there.
Yeah, or you can roll an athletics.
Ah.
So at 12, you are barely able to loosen it up, but it pops, and then the lid pops open, and a bunch of fairy dust kind of pops up out of it, and this little sprite flies up out of the jar, shaking her wings and her little tiny body and emitting tons of fairy dust as she's like free finally. And she says in Sylvan, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you," and then starts to fly as fast as she can towards the tunnel opening, unless you do something to stop her.
I go, do you want to wait for your friends? I'm going to try to free the rest of them as well.
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion. I think they should be together. It's just what I don't think she wants to leave.
Yeah, she's been in prison for who knows how long, and she's free, and she's going. She's booking it. And so, the closest flight...
I continue to try to open the jars. Do I need to keep rolling strength? This might take a while.
If you're trying to just go through all of them, you can continue to do so, but I'm going to shift back to the other players who are in the minecart area. Over here, again, you have the there's the 3 minecarts, the 2 railways, and Tessa's absent. What do you do?
Has he been gone a long enough time that I would be worried?
It's a couple flights of stairs up if you want to go back.
He would be looking worried to be up the steps, but he also trusts that she can generally take care of herself. But he's gonna stick around a little longer, but he is a little that she's been gone for longer than just grabbing stuff.
Falash will go check up on her.
Well, yeah, he was trying to shoot that she could respect herself, but he's worried enough that if someone else is going up,
then he will too.
He would go too.
Okay.
Morthos is going to play with levers.
Okay. We'll get to that in a moment. Talash and Alpha pop up out of the stairways just as Tessie probably opened up another one. There's another little fairy that springs forth and showering you with a little bit of fairy dust.
Can I ask it if it wants to help us free other creatures as well?
Okay, you can roll a persuasion check, and then Alpha and Talash, you're seeing this happen just as she's asking. But this fairy seems to be booking it for the exit as well, and you see this almost looking like a butterfly, leaving a trail of fairy dust, just getting out of the cave.
Those poor creatures.
I have a -1 on persuasion.
I have
yes, my whole -1 persuasion.
5.
I will
Can you speak Sylvan?
I have a spell that can help me speak it.
I'll go over to one of these ones over here.
Yep, you can see kind of the same thing. 2 little tiny handprints touch the glass, which is all not invisible, but it's like it's glazed, so you can't see inside it unless you're really close. But there's the 2 little fairy hands touch the glass as Lupin picks it up.
To think we almost left them behind.
Falash can now speak all languages.
No, wait, no. It you can understand it. Can you speak it?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Is like he can basically essentially, as long as he can essentially understand and speak it. That's what I meant for an hour.
Yes,
you can only understand what it says. You can't speak it.
No?
Are you sure?
Yeah, this is the spell that allows you to. This is not comprehend language.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the higher level of comprehend language.
Okay, it's
of tongues, which allows you to speak.
Okay. So Alpha, the jar that you have, you can tell that there's been like a glue, so the lid's glued shut, so the fairy can't escape, and you give it a big twist, but it's not working. Unless you have a bonus.
Put a little bit of like my flame to the lid to just kind of warm it up, thinking maybe I could melt the wax or glue, whatever it is, and then attempt again.
How about you roll a percentile dice for me? As
That's a
the
horrible
fairy inside seems to be
You're about to
getting
cook
very
this fairy.
panicked.
Okay, if it starts to panic more,
Yeah, it's like you can't see the body of what the fairy's doing, but like you can see the light shifting around all of a sudden inside. But the glue does seem to actually melt, and you can remove the lid at this point.
it's like he was saying, Sylvan. It's like, don't worry, we're just melting the wax. You'll be free in a second.
How many jars are there?
There's 3 left after Lupin's.
Alright. So Kalash will try to open one himself.
No, Adrian, there should be 4 left.
You got. Oh, you're right. I deleted one before they came up. So yeah, there would be one more.
Yeah, because
so,
I only got the chance to roll persuasion twice, not 3 times.
Oops.
Each time I would have asked if they would want to help.
Let's go.
'Cause I don't mind having a fairy companion. Just saying.
Okay. So
not that I'm. Not
so Alpha, you pop open the lid after the wax is done. You don't need to roll again for it because you melted the seal.
As he's opening the lid, he's already starting to say, "It's like, we're here to help. It's just melting the wax."
So because it's very startled and scared, the fairy jumps out, and because they can't hear you while they're inside the jar, all they know is that the jar lid opens up and it immediately starts to fly away.
Well,
Kalash will say, "Please wait." Apparently, not very well.
For
His-
the one that Alpha
Eyes.
opened up, that one's gone. But Talash, if you're going to try to attempt to open one as well, you're encountering the same thing. These lids are glued shut. So
Right.
you had 2 athletics attempts as you're trying to get it. It's just stuck. You can't seem to get it out. So Alpha and Talash, before we do any more of these, I'm going to go back to Morthos in the mine.
Oh, these
Because
lovers.
Morthos is busy babysitting all the wolves and the dinosaur, and I think Pika and Chew probably are still with Tess because they just go in her pockets, right?
Yeah, they just hang out with me in my pockets, pretty much.
Okay. So you pull some levers. The first one, the mine carts start to go into the tunnel.
Turn it off immediately.
Okay. They grind to a halt just a little bit ahead.
What does the second one do?
The second one begins to recall them, and it starts to roll slowly back until it kind of hits the bumper at the back.
Is there a third one?
There is a third one.
Pull the third one.
It is. So 1 second. So roll a perception check if you pull the third one.
Oh boy. What did I just break? Yeah. I have not rolled higher than I think a 5.
Yep. You don't see anything change. If you pull it back, nothing happens. If you push it forwards, nothing happens. Which
wow,
way?
you answered my next 2 questions.
What is where do you leave the lever, forward or back?
Back.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Are any of the animals doing anything weird?
Your animals are kind of waiting for their masters to return.
All right, I'm just gonna sit in the mine cart. The last one.
Okay.
I'm gonna hide in the mine cart in the last one.
You're gonna hide in
To
it.
scare the people when they come back down.
Okay, you can have an advantage on stealth for that because you have full cover.
22 or a. I'll take that 22.
Okay. So back up in the cave, Tess.
Can I again open the jar? Am I muted? No, I'm not.
You want to get this one here on the corner?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a strength or athletics. Okay.
Ah,
With this one, you put all of your you're forced into it, and the lid pops open, and then a bunch of fairy dust kind of shoots out again, like the other ones, and the fairy flies out, looking around.
Can I say, will you please wait and help us free the rest of these creatures that have been trapped? And I will roll persuasion with a whole of my
Bardic inspiration.
minus. Can I re-roll
Please,
that?
please stay and help us. I say.
Can I re-roll
yeah.
that, Adrian?
I'm not sure how you would get a reroll. Do you have an inspiration?
I have a
We-
left foot.
If
We
you
would
want,
say something too.
yeah. So you could all, because this is happening, you can all see that she got one open. The fairy seems to be ignoring Tess, unless you're wanting to use your luck for your rabbit's foot.
I'm going to use my foot. My foot.
Okay.
And it still ignores me.
So the rabbit foot it has, I think, 1 use per day, so you have to take a long rest before that recharges. But the fairy begins to fly away when Talash shouts out. What does Talash say?
Please wait. We could use your help.
And then Lupin, what are you saying?
Like, it's like you're safe. No need to flee so quickly. You are among friends.
So the little sprite gets about maybe 20 feet away and then kind of stops and flutters and kind of looks back at you. And then she'll say in Sylvan, I have to get out of here. I've been a prisoner for so long.
Help us free the others before you go, please.
She looks around, not really like knowing exactly what is going on. I'm gonna use this as her token for now, just a little dot, and she sees there's the 3 other jars, and she will wait, but she doesn't approach.
Okay.
Talash will try to open the jar again.
I'll go to the last jar over here. And I think Lupin is over by the other jar.
So if you all want to try to open them up, and the fairy's just watching you.
There we go.
So Talash, 3rd time's the charm. You pop open the seal, and another fairy springs out. Alpha, yours snaps open now that you kind of are expecting the glue. You can break through the seal.
As he opens the lid, he will kind of tip the lid slowly, and then so there's like air kind of flow there, but not open all the way for something to fly out.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like, so we are here to free you. You are among friends.
Your other fairy companion is over just a bit up.
Okay. The fairies all kind of like pause, and since they're all getting out at the same time, they can see each other all being released. They kind of just hover. Alpha, if you open the lid a little bit more, she'll fly out and kind of look at you. Same with Tess and Talash. But these
Talash kind of like removed the lid completely when he got it off.
Yeah, and it just kind of hovers around and sees the others. The 4th sprite, I would like, let's see, Talash, roll a percentile dice for me, since you rolled the highest persuasion on it.
Okay.
Okay. This one, seeing the allies are out, begins to fly out and disappears off into the tunnel to make its escape. The other 3 fairies do remain kind of hovering with you. Do you all speak, I believe it's Sylvan?
I do.
We speak it naturally, and he has the spell going.
Okay, perfect. So you all will gain a fairy, which I need to get stats for because I don't have them right off the top of my head. But they will stick with you at least for a little bit.
Do you know? Can I ask if it knows of any creatures here, or were they hidden in before they even came into this cave?
They would tell you that they had been captured long, long, long ago by a little goblin and put in a jar and stuck here, and they've been used as light bulbs for like a long time.
Well, we are here to punish said goblin.
And
Can
free
I do want to take all the jars and put them in my bag of holding.
Yeah, if you have a bag of holding, you can retrieve the jars, unless send it to Lasha or Alpha are wanting any, because they have some too.
No.
Josh will hold on to. He opened at least what, one jar? So
Yep.
he'll stick that into his pack.
So I have
So
6.
6.
Yeah.
They're exhausted. It's no active condition. I'm not sure what those are. But you guys want to return down to the
Yes.
mine shaft?
My bad.
We want what's like any help you can offer us and what you can tell us, or things you can tell us, or about the space, or what you know would be helpful. We're here to free others who've been trapped like you.
So for that, if you're asking, you can do roll a history check or an investigation check.
Both are gonna be -1.
Mine are both
Woo!
0.
Okay. So Alpha, your little sprite does have the a little bit more recollection on the mine shaft, and says that the rest of the layer where they were first put into the bottles is you have to take the mine cart down to the base.
When the fairies ran away, did they run out or in?
Yeah, the way that you came in from, they were exiting that direction to get out.
They were going the wrong way.
Talash,
No,
you
they were
can
going the
name
way-
your own sprite.
Basically, do they like say they don't really have a name, or
They have a name, but I'm going to give you the freedom to name your own, because it will become a companion potentially.
sweet?
Poor Morthos did not come up to help with the fairy, so he's left. So
Yuki.
Ha ha ha.
Man. That's not
It's not a good, but
German.
anyway.
So you get down to the lower minecart area, and all you see is the wolves and Lilith. Morthos is missing, because I don't believe anyone has a passive perception of 22 or whatever it was.
No.
No, but we'll make a perception.
That would be passive. I guess if you're actively looking at that point, you could. But yeah, it looks like Morthos is vanished. The minecarts are also snubbed all the way back against the board. Previously, they were just kind of parked in front of the station, but now
Oh.
they're against the backboard.
21. I still wouldn't smell him.
Are you gonna think what kind of fairies they are?
I will get you fairy stats for them in a little bit. I don't have them yet.
I'm not gonna name mine until I get the name. And also, I totally know where you got Yuki from.
Oh no, I wasn't even thinking of Sword Art Online when I named it.
You weren't.
Oh,
I just remembered.
She's such a cute little fairy.
But like Yuki, it means snow.
It's a pretty common name, I suppose.
Yeah. So I was not even thinking about Sword Art Online, but
Okay, I thought you were actually doing that.
Navigation pixie. Special navigation pixie.
Navigation pixie.
everyone to the mine cart.
We are asking for directions. I will go. Morthos, where are you? And I'll look around.
Beta. Here go. Beta. Where did the other human go?
Are you hiding in there?
Beta will
Or
just kind of like nudge
flames.
towards the minecart when Tess
I
can see
already-
him.
I already found him. I'm like, why are you hiding in there? It's comfortable.
Yes.
You
Take
find
the
it,
map.
Herbert.
No way. I did not find my Gerbert.
You have something to hold a Gerbert.
I have one thing to hold a small Gerbert.
Is the jar I have bigger than his jar?
Yeah, yours is like a 32 ounce glass jar, kind of glazed and
I hold a
looks very
bigger
pretty.
Gerbert.
Can I
I
have
give-
your jar?
What?
I said, can I have your jar?
Yes, I'm giving him a jar.
we'll do everything in our power to
Yeah.
make sure you and your friend and everything else here that has been unjustly contained is set free.
Except for Gerbert's.
So because of your inspiring
Hey.
leader ability, Alpha, which I think is that a spell that you cast or an ability?
It's a feat.
That's okay. So yeah, the
I
fact
don't
that you have it, the Fae that you rescued is wanting to stay with you, and he's willing to, or he or she is willing to help.
If you could, if you could help us anyway with your memory and with your guiding light in these dark tunnels, would be a great service to all those who have been unjustly trapped. But so it appears that these minecarts are safe.
Looks like it. Morthos can inform them that he was able to move them with the lever a little bit, which can be grabbed from the mine carts. It's close enough where you can actually like reach over and pull it if you wanted to, so you don't have to leave someone back if you don't want to.
The trouble is approaching stealthily in a minecart is almost impossible.
I can help you what Daddy said since you're on a game you can both
It
have
might be better than trucking down all the way down there.
Becca was really loud, so I muted her real quick. If you want to mute yourself and I'll unmute you, that'd be fine.
So we either take the minecarts down and approach quickly, or we try to take the slow and arduous process of following the carts and maintain stealth. What do people think?
It's basically right now. I think it's just Mike, Fox, and you who are present to make that decision.
What decision?
Do you want to take the mine cart? Oh, Becca's back too. So you can take the mine cart. You can walk, or you can walk the tracks, or you can leave. That's
I've
always
never
an option.
ridden a minecart before. However, I don't know how to steer it. It would probably be safer not to.
You can see that there is no steering things or anything in the minecart. It's just a box on wheels.
How fast does it go when it moves?
You don't know?
We could send one down, see how fast they would move, but that would also ruin the element of surprise.
I think we should probably walk. As much as I really want to ride in those carts, it doesn't seem the safest option when our ultimate goal is to free the animals that are in here.
Well,
think
there are an empty set of tracks over there. I'm guessing that there is a second set that drives back to this location. Perhaps on the way out.
Maybe, perhaps.
So, moving down the tunnels, stealthily.
Okay, you just walking?
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk down through the tracks. It descends down. There's a slight hill. You can tell that the mine carts would have accelerated quite a bit at that point. And you get to the bottom of the hill, and it kind of goes back up. And do you all have light or ability to see in the dark?
I do. And I have a fairy that's chilling out around me somewhere.
Okay.
At this point, he's just probably relying on Guinevere's light, but if needed, he can produce flame in his hand.
Okay. Is Guinevere your sprite? These are technically sprites. So if you look up the Roll20 thing,
Sprites, with the sleeping, so they can tell the heart sense and all that.
Yeah, heart, sight, and invisibility is basically they've got 2 hit points, armor 15 with they don't have leather armor, so that would really just be a 14 dex plus 10. So, but yeah, we can get you stats for them set up later. But I've posted a link to the Roll20 version of them. They don't have any weapons or armor, but you both have those. And then Morthos, you see that these your allies have little glowing yellow fairy sprites.
Neat. Where'd those come from?
The others didn't stick around.
Indeed, I do not blame them. If I had been trapped in a tiny jar, I would be most eager to leave as well.
Fae have quite long lifespans. To spend so much of it trapped in a container barely big enough to fit them. This goblin has much to answer for.
Oops.
His anger starting to show through.
So we're all going to chill out on a banana peel?
It's yellow just because that's the color or whatever, but this is kind of the way that the tracks do. They go down this hill, which you go down, and then it peaks up, and at the edge of this, there's a big gap.
Like a big...
Like this.
Track would have, if we had gone on there, we would have launched.
Yep, it looks like it's about a 30-foot gap.
Wow.
Well, I don't know if the minecart would have made that jump, or we would have been plunged into darkness.
Conjure animals. Let me see. Okay. I can conjure an animal that could theoretically fly us over.
I mean, we have... The fairies could certainly attach a rope, and the humanoids could cross through a rope, but there's no way we get Lilith across there.
Yeah.
If you guys are going up to the edge or no, are you climbing up that hill?
Yeah.
So if you get to the top of the hill, because you do have light, you can actually tell that the two tracks do connect, but there's no infrastructure besides the tracks.
So we just have to balance along the tracks.
So yeah, you could balance along the tracks. The minecart should be able to go over, but directly down looks to be some sort of underwater or underground river, which is flowing pretty rapidly. So you could cross it using the tracks or try to make a connection of it or whatever you want.
Support any of us, all weight fine. If it can support a steel or an iron minecart.
I'm concerned about Lilith.
Yes, that's where I was going with
Yes.
this. What do you think?
I think
Should Lilith...
Does anybody have the reduce spell?
I don't have that kind of magic.
no, I'm afraid not. Can speak with animals, tell it to stay.
And none of my forms that I could turn into could carry her across that. And I think even in the minecart, that added weight might be too much.
£350. So
If
If
we
it can-
take a short rest once we get to the other side, I can get Lilith over there.
Explain. How can you get Lilith over there?
I can cast Dimension Door.
Okay. that could possibly work.
We don't
You're
know.
gonna have more problems in the future when you have issues like this, Michael.
Oh yeah, so you gotta help it out.
Yeah, when it's 2,000 pounds.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right.
Dude,
I'll be right back.
relax.
I don't see an hour hurting. Waiting an hour. And if our exit strategy does not involve us coming back the same direction, it would be best to stay together as a pack.
I could turn into a rat and scout ahead. Or potentially get eaten by whatever is ahead. That wouldn't be a good idea.
Perhaps,
Have a
but
go back too.
perhaps if there were 2 rats, there'd be less likely the chance of being eaten.
One more time.
Or 3. Nice.
So
I offered to turn into a mouse to go scout ahead.
if you can do that, yes.
He turned to Beta. It's like, stay here and protect the others. We will be back within the hour.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was thinking Pika and Chew.
Just because you've only ever seen me use the direwolf form does not mean I cannot change into something else.
So are you wanting to scout ahead as mice?
There we go.
I will need to know the plan, guys.
Yeah, it sounds like the Pikachu, Tess, and Alpha are going ahead as mice.
Okay.
If we can get Lilith shrunk
Am I
down.
teleporting the Triceratops or not?
Well,
Yes, but it takes an hour for you to do that, I thought.
No, I can just cast the spell, but I only get 3 spell slots, so I wanted a short rest afterward so I could so I have my spell slot back. You know, it does
You
not
wanted
take me
it
an hour. It takes me 1 action. Yeah, I want it afterwards.
All right, then let's go.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just adding giant
Yeah,
rat to
dimension
my
door.
spell transformation list.
You don't have to necessarily be the giant one. You could be a regular-sized rat for stealth purposes.
Oh no, wait, dimension door does not work here. Is she my size? What size is she?
At this point, medium.
Yeah, so she'd be me.
Okay, cool. Never mind. Dimension door works. Just barely.
I'm looking at bard spells and warlock spells to see what spell would be useful for the future, and I'm thinking polymorph.
So, quick question for the wolves and Fluffy. Are they able to cross over the bridge without any assistance?
I mean, if the track's relatively solid, the dexterity save. I mean,
It might not work because it's yourself.
It's not stealth. It's it would
Wait,
be
what?
it'd be acrobatics to balance on a
Or no, I'm
chain.
looking at Dimension Door. Teleport yourself.
And you can bring along 1 willing creature of your size or smaller.
Oh, perfect. Sorry, I didn't read all the way down.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I mean, without-
Fluffy is a familiar, so I can just resummon Fluffy
So
on
that
the other side if
so-
needed.
so that'll
I think
work.
the pack would be unlikely to cross this without someone else going ahead of them. But I mean, with me and Beta going ahead, they would probably be willing to cross it.
They probably want to.
Well, you got inspiration
the
from
cart.
Talash, right? Or was that Tess? Who bardic inspiration? I mean,
Talash.
who did you give it to though?
Give that to Tess.
Okay.
You give me bardic inspiration?
Yes,
Oh,
and that's going to be a D8.
cool. That might be useful.
So-
And we're doing acrobatics. Is that right?
Yeah, to cross over the trestle. So Alpha, the wolf pack, and beta. Did you roll for beta as well, or was that the wolf pack?
I think that I was assuming that was beta in the pack.
Oh, okay. Did Alpha roll as well, or?
I did not think about that. I assumed that would be relatively easy for him.
If you're a medium creature trying to go over the tracks, you would have to roll a check still.
Oh, okay. I kind of assumed I was going over as a mouse.
Oh, if you're a mouse, then you won't need to.
Okay. Because you
So-
turned us into. Okay, yeah.
So
and my little mice creatures are following me, and there's like a snail on my back.
So four mice running ahead, one with a snail, which is I think it's glowing, isn't it?
I haven't decided if it glows or if it talks, but if it glows, that would be cool.
Well, I want it to glow.
Or bad.
So
bad. You want it to glow?
yeah, so that just leaves Talash on the other side. Are you going to go over as well? Oh, you already rolled acrobatics.
Wasn't Talash also turned into a mouse with that spell, or?
No, it didn't.
No, it's
I think they're wild shaping.
This can't be used.
Oh,
on,
yeah. Okay.
That can't be used on someone else.
He's
But-
going to try to cross.
Yeah, if you already rolled a 12 for acrobatics, then you passed. So
Okay,
you can
good.
You can cross over the bridge above the sound of the rushing water, and the tracks continue on. It winds a couple passageways and stuff, but eventually, especially if Tess, Alpha, and Pika and Chu are scouting ahead, you will see the next map. And you coming out here on the bottom. You can see the whole map, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're coming out. You're coming out on this side over here, and you see a big cavern. You see that river coming down in this kind of landing stage where there's another 3 mine carts stationed over here, and down below you just see this big encampment with lots of different cages and ones that have canvas over them and tarps and all kinds of stuff. But this is where you find yourselves.
Do we see
My mouse form wants to sniff around for anything that is stinky, potentially stinky cheese.
Roll a perception check.
Perfect. Hold on, let me go to the rat. Giant rat perception. It doesn't have perception, but it has keen. Oh, here we go. Keen smell.
keen senses means you have advantage on perception checks that rely on scent.
I know, but it doesn't have a thing where I can roll perception for the mouse.
I can just roll a d20 and add the mod.
What's the stat for perception?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
So if you will use your own wisdom, since you don't take the mouse's wisdom.
Okay. Do?
No, you don't. You take the mouse's strength, dexterity, and con. You keep your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
Cool. So I do this at advantage. Is that what it was?
If it has keen senses, yeah.
Yes, keen sense.
Well, stinky cheese might be good. I'm looking for big, stinky bodyguards.
So for you all the mice kind of scurrying ahead, you can smell like oil and mechanical sludge and stuff here up on this whole tracks ramp. As you're kind of running by, you can smell some foods and stuff coming from this green tent. And Alpha, as a mouse, you can smell that there are various smells of beasts and stuff coming from some of these different cages down here. Yeah, unless you're going down the stairway up there, that's all you can smell and tell from this distance.
Okay, can't tell gods. Okay.
There doesn't seem to be any guards from what you can see.
Can my mouse, my mousiness, wants to go get the food that is in this. Wait, I keep my wisdom? That makes me too. Okay, I'm very conflicted right now.
You take on the physical stats of the animal.
Okay.
But I mean, if you want to RP it, that you have, you've been RPing it, that you have different personalities as the different animals. So I mean, that could be something you can, for RP wise, you can stick. Your personality could still be, ooh, geez.
Yeah.
So very quickly, for the sprites, Eric, would you want pink, green, violet, blue, or yellow?
Blue.
Okay, and Becca?
Green.
And Fox? Michael?
Blue.
Okay. Carry on. I feel bad. I should have given Morthos one too.
We'll give him a good, but he'll be happy. He'd be more happy with a good than a sprite, I
It's
think.
all good.
There is a lot
Did you
of...
see my note about my mask, Adrian?
the owl mask, what does that do?
Nothing. It's a mask that covers my face.
Oh, got it.
It protects from COVID.
It disguises myself from Korpskey if he ends up showing up.
So we have 2 blues and 1 green?
Yes.
Do they different
Four
colors
purples
do
and a
different
yellow.
things?
No, it's just for your tokens.
Okay. My mousiness is gonna continue forward with its full.
Well, I consider that dangerous. He will go. He is going along to protect her.
Talash is going to stealth. Holy shit, Talash.
Talash blends into the shadows.
That's a really big fairy.
Okay. So, Eric, you get the green one.
Should I roll for Lilith as well?
Rebecca gets the green one.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted a blue one.
I said I wanted green.
There were 2 people who wanted blue.
Yes.
Yeah, I said blue.
Oh,
And
okay. I just got it backwards then. Sorry.
It's okay.
Ah,
I put a little blue dot in my character sheet, but my character token, but that works too.
why?
So he will follow along behind Tess because he can't speak to her and say this is a bad idea, but he will go to hell and back to protect her.
Okay. So, as your mice, if you want to just move your tokens up to the stairs, and you can just use your normal avatars to represent it.
And then Beacon 2 will probably follow us following along.
Yeah. So you
But
basically
Talash
yeah, Talash, if
is
you're
pretty
following
quiet.
along as well, then you can come down and you're invisible at this point.
Yeah.
But as you're
The Triceratops isn't coming, is it?
the faithful
Can I scurry down the wall
Triceratops.
instead of using the stairs, Adrian?
You could try, but it's about 30-foot drop if you fall as a mouse.
You would be surprised the things that mice can do.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty intense.
Okay, there will be no disadvantage if you're a mice going down the wall, but you can try. You'd have to roll that would be an acrobatics check.
What's
Hickory
acrobatics?
dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock.
A dex.
Oh, sorry. My mouse, when I rolled
Did it do
for
the-
it, it did it to GM.
That's fine, you rolled a 20. So you are fine. Morthos, yes, if you want to rappel down with your suction cup hands or your tentacle fingers, you can do so. I think you have 8 feet long fingers, but that would give you advantage on I guess that would be athletics or acrobatics, whatever you want to do. I'll allow either. And move your token to where you're trying to rappel down from. Okay, so
Okay, this was not what I was expecting the plan to be, but oh well.
So Morthos, your suction cups give way. both Tess and Lupin, you make it successfully down to the rock areas, and as you're scurrying towards the green tent, it looks like.
That's he's following her.
Okay.
Oh! Stepped in the cat's tail accidentally.
Oh, that's
Cat
fitting.
Weird.
Because as you get about here, both of you need to roll a wisdom saving throw.
I would have gone around this way if there's
Oh.
room behind the cages.
You could.
Do I still need to roll wisdom?
Not right away, no. Morthos, you fall down here, and because it's 30-foot drop, you're going to take 3d6 falling damage unless you have a way to avoid it.
Can I see what's in these cages, or are these
No.
particular ones empty?
Just take it.
Okay, 17
Oh,
points.
nice near max damage there, Adrian.
You hit a lot
That
of
goes
jagged
towards the 10
rocks.
hit points first, right?
Yeah, temp first, so that brings it down to 9 out of your normal, I think. So, Talash, you pulled some of those canvases free, and you can see that first cage is empty. So, Alpha and Tesney, as you're getting closer to the green tent, especially Tesney if you're that close, I need you and the 2 mice to roll wisdom saving throws.
Wisdom saving throws +2. Wait, wisdom save. No, it's +6 because it's a save, not just a wisdom check.
Okay. Both of you kind of freeze in your mice tracks, and you hear a cat arching its back and hissing at you from one of the cages, and it seems to be very close by. And you can see actually that there is a little kitty in here, and it pounces towards you, but the cage blocks it, and you're safe
A
from
winged
being.
cat?
Yes, it's a kitten. Over near Talash. Talash, all of a sudden, well, no, actually, because you rolled a natural 20 stealth, so it doesn't notice you, but you can see inside here there's a dog that's kind of sleeping, its paws crossed over its hands. And then Morthos, you pick yourself up, and you would have fallen the whole distance, so you are actually here.
God.
So did Fluffy stay with
Did I
the
at least
path,
walk
or
quietly?
did Fluffy is Fluffy following you?
Adrian said I
Fluffy
needed to.
had a way of getting down without hurting himself, so he was just he's just hanging out up there for now.
So Fluffy and the pack are all and the fairies are all just kind of waiting up there. If we
Yeah.
need them, I'll howl.
Adrian, you said I needed to do a wisdom saving throw for the mice as well. That's what that is, and they have 0 bonus to
Okay.
wisdom.
Pika just kind of runs ahead, and the cat tries to swipe at him through the bars, but Pika is just more concerned with cheese and gets to the tent. Yeah, the
Is it
rest of
just
you.
her that needs to roll wisdom?
Yeah, because they're mice.
Okay. Because the cheese.
I actually think at this point, seeing the cat, I will remember what our original goal is. And I actually wouldn't go for the cheese at this point.
Okay.
But I actually would be curious what's in the tent. So I would go for what's in the tent and not the cheese.
Okay. So it looks like you're all about to start closing in on the tent when Talash, you hear a voice from behind you saying, "Is someone there?"
He's going to try to find where the voice came from.
It's coming from this direction.
Alright, so it's coming from the right. Going to cautiously move over here.
Kitty came back. He ran off when I accidentally stepped on his tail, but he got over it, came back.
It's going to kind of hide behind the pillar while looking around into the cage.
Okay, you can see there looks to be an elf lady there.
Like a full size
She looks to be
dryad.
Nope, not a dryad. She looks to be a young elf. Or you could roll a perception check, I guess. Would be to be able to
I
see.
can't see it.
Alright, perception. You will step out towards the cage. Did Korpskey do this to you?
She looks up at you and she just says, "Yes, he did."
How did you end up here?
He captured me, for lack of a better description. And for a moment, you see her kind of look very like angry and almost flash a look which almost like bearing fangs, except she's an elf, so it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she stands up and she's just kind of wearing a light robe, and she reaches through the bars. She has her hands kind of tied together, but she can put both through the hole and tries to reach out towards you. Will you let me out?
Quick nature on her.
Go
As
ahead.
if there was that slight vision of fangs. I want to make sure I'm not getting myself into too much trouble. Yeah, he's gonna pull out a dagger and like cut the ropes on her hand. I'm assuming that's she's tied with ropes.
Yep. So you free her.
And then I'm going to pick the lock on the cage.
Okay.
These tools.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you open it with ease. You're no stranger to locks. And as the doors open, she steps towards you and holds out her arms and says, "Thank you for saving me, my hero." And I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Of
As
course.
she casts charm on you. DC is
I have
15.
advantage on this because of Yanti Pureblood.
Good.
Thank God for advantage. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she holds out her hand.
But good job, you had that.
Could have been very bad. It's a good thing you were the one who opened this particular crate.
Yes.
Yep.
He just kind of gives her a look. Naughty, naughty. Your little charms won't work on me.
Huh. And she like holds back her hands like she was about to embrace you, and then she like recoils back and says, "You're no stranger to adventuring, I see."
So, what are you?
She will transform because you have found her out. And the elf form fades immediately away as the it's not an illusion, it's her actual. Hold on, I'm in the wrong layer, I think. Her form is shape shifts, and in her stead, her true form appears. Still blonde haired, pointy eared, but she is got horns. Can you see her? Or no, I did the wrong one.
The same token came back, so.
Sorry, they were stacked. So her same form appears, but she has horns. She has a spined tail and very large wings, which are kind of folded and tucked in. And she's going to try to launch herself towards you, trying to kiss you. And that will be initiative.
Okay, succubus then.
I was wondering about that if it was a nymph or a succubus or.
Down here by the tent, I would like you all to roll initiative as well. But as that's going on, you've all basically made it up to the green tent from either side, unless you're doing anything with the cat.
I was looking in this cage.
In that cage, you see a very large. This one's not like a barred cage. Like all of them are the same token, but this one's more like a box, or even more like a giant bathtub or jacuzzi tub. But inside is a huge another ooze.
It's an ooze.
Yeah,
I found the best Gerbert.
the
I forgot to
full-on
put
gelatinous
myself
cube.
first, Adrian.
It's okay. Let me add you.
I've just been snacking.
How do I get
here.
the Gerbert out of there?
Hold on, I need to get the actual mini for it, but I'm trying to remember which section it is. I think it's Wet Caverns? Or Dungeon Master Essentials, maybe. Sorry, I will find it.
It should be under the Gerbert tab.
It should indeed be the Gerbert tab.
There should be a Gerbert tab.
The Roll20 has a bunch of stock art, and I can't remember which one that it's in.
I think I found mine just searching on the internet, but because I don't have the, I'm not a member like you are with a paid membership.
Well, the
But yeah.
tokens in these ones, I think they're the free. I've only ever used the free ones in here, but I don't know which section that they're in. I'll find it in a little bit, but there's a giant ooze in here. Okay.
Neat.
So the succubus
Mine
is
now.
going to roll her initiative. She gets a 19. So as she launches towards you, her nails have turned into kind of claws, and she tries to wrap her arms around you in a deathly embrace. And what is your armor as she tries to attack you?
16. Yeah, that will hit.
So she lands a kiss full on your mouth, and the life drain begins to take effect. And I need you to roll a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
I don't
Seems
know
right
what
good.
this does in 5th edition, but it drains like levels in old editions.
Not in 5th, but you take psychic damage of 5d10 plus 5, it says, so that would
Jeez.
be 36 points of damage as she kisses you and sucks the life force from your body. She breaks the kiss as you kind of shove her away, but you have taken 36 points of psychic damage from that.
Ouch.
The kiss of death.
See, I needed to be able to open it up.
And then she smiles, and her fangs are that you could almost see in her other form. This smile on her. She's got these jagged teeth and fangs, and she grins at you. And then she kind of like looks like she's about to jump at you again. But Alpha is next.
So am I aware of this? Because I don't imagine psychic damage making a lot of noise.
You can roll a perception check. I think you're still a mouse as well. So you can be anywhere around the tent at this point that you want. So if you want to position yourself in the front of the tent so you have a better line of sight, I'm fine with that. Just because
I don't know.
while
I
he
rolled
was
a
opening.
9 and 19 if I get advantage, but I don't know if that keen senses is going to help there or not.
I'm actually not sure if she a demon was she a demon? No, so
Yeah.
she's a fiend, so she doesn't have like any scent or anything except for just being the elf in her elf form. But once she changed to her fiend form, I think at that point you might be able to see. So what was your perception?
It was a 9 when I first rolled, and I hit it again if I got advantage on the 19.
Yeah, I think you'd get the 19 because at this point, not only is she in line of sight with you and everything, but you heard the cage door kind of open as Talash cut it free, and then you would see this happening. But you are a mouse. Keep that in mind.
Yes.
So what would Alpha do?
But you are a mouse. Keep that in mind. God. Oh.
Oh. He thinks to himself, what is he doing down here? What is Morthos doing down here? I thought we were scouting. This wasn't the plan. But he also is a...
I found a Gerber. I had to come get him.
Yeah. It's not used so much. Well, it probably would be used soon, actually.
Do I think he can handle a succubus?
No. That literally took majority of my health. Like, I am literally down to 6 health right now.
Oh, you had the temp HP, so by my math,
that's
if you had
right.
45 minus the thing plus 8, the roll 20 came out to
Yes.
17. So
Okay, so yeah.
unless
that
I
still
did the
took a
math
heavy
wrong.
hit.
I think you're the only person I can think of who's ever gotten kissed by a succubus at this point.
Congratulations.
Morthos is about to walk up to her and kiss her instead.
He looks to Tess, thinking
Morthos light psychic damage.
he looks to Tess, thinking it's like, I want to protect her, but he's in trouble. All right. He starts running. It's like, stupid idiot. As the mouse is starting to run across the field, the mouse becomes a dire wolf. So I'll move me into the water there, and the dire wolf form can come out. I don't have you.
Let me grab it. It's still on the first page. As soon as your form shifts, Lupin, you hear barking coming from that cage up there, and you hear the dog in the cage has definitely seen you, and he's like, "Ruff, ruff, ruff." Trying to
He
get
will. I can hear 50 feet of movement. Bounding across the mouse in full battle form, and then suddenly, dire wolf. Bonus action to shift, and then comes down and does an 8. Actually, there's a 18 hit.
Yes, it does. And
So-
she lets out a scream.
2d. 2d6 plus 3. 2d6 plus 3, and then making 14 damage, and make a strength save, will be knocked prone.
Strength save, right?
Yeah. So he just bites into her like right behind the wing or the leg, and just throws her to the ground.
Yeah,
And
she
then-
lets out a terrified scream as you charge into her, and she totally gets enveloped by your jaws, and yeah.
And then he howls into the air, just like "Oh!" And I don't know how far away the pack is, but the pack would double move towards where we're at.
Yeah, so they can all do what they want to try to scramble down the cliff face or go down the...
Now,
normal
will
area.
we? I mean, how far away were we all starting up here once we crossed the gap? Or is...
Yeah, so basically the station is... Like, this is all the railways and stuff, so the station would actually be at the top there.
So no, they're probably gonna.
Think like the bridge is where like the loading zone is for the tracks for the mine carts.
Oh, they don't. They would have stopped on the other side of the river. They wouldn't have come all the way down here.
Oh, then yeah, then it would be at the other side.
So
Lilith would have probably followed Talash at least up to the stairs.
Okay, that's fine.
they probably do their double movement and are running down the train tracks and getting to here for their first movement.
Okay, Tess?
I'm going to change into a saber-toothed tiger.
Okay, let me grab your mini.
Hey, why does it? I'm sorry, Adrian. It's doing it to GM. I don't know how to fix that.
If you're rolling in Roll20 or no? Or is it in D&D Beyond?
D&D Beyond.
I don't know how to fix that, but I can look it up in a moment. For now, you rolled a DC 14 strength save, and that is for why?
Oh, sorry. I clicked the pounce button but that's what it
Hey,
did.
Rebecca,
Yes.
if you highlight the dice thing on Roll20, the top left there's the letters GM.
Here we go.
And select
Here we
that,
go.
and it shouldn't roll.
Have it up in the top.
Is there one in D&D Beyond as well that does the GM layer, or is it just the...
Hold on. I'm just doing this.
I heard someone say something the other day about there being a GM whisper thing that they
There
can
is.
turn on or off.
Oh yeah, you can whisper stuff to only certain people if you want. I think you have to type /W and then the name. But if you I don't know how to do it automatically. I think you have to say it as /W for it to count.
Okay. That worked.
Okay.
Sorry, I just pressed the pounce button, which technically I think she's already prone.
Okay, so you're gonna jump on her, basically.
Yeah, and
So-
do the. I think it's. I hit with a claw attack on the same turn. The target must succeed on a DC 14.
Yeah, so if you're running up, Talash, you've just been met with the kiss of death, it feels like, and as you stagger back and shove her away, you see this giant direwolf grab her away from you and throw her on the ground, and then a saber-toothed tiger jumps right around and starts mauling towards her. Do you get advantage on the attack for pack tactics or anything, or does Sabertooth get that? Because there's two of you in that form.
I don't know. Pounce is something that I don't get it as a wolf, but I get pack tactics. I don't think saber-tooth tigers get pack tactics.
No, we don't.
Okay.
I get keen smell.
Okay. Well, 9 is not going to hit her even while she's on the ground and stuff. So it's more like Alpha's got both paws over her, and you try to like go in to claw her, but there's just not a whole lot of space between the fence of the bars and then Talash being there and everybody else. So that's a miss.
Okay. I'm just gonna put my health in here.
Okay. Are your mice or anybody else doing anything of your tokens?
Yeah, my mice would follow, and they only have a 45 speed, but they can shoot electricity 30 feet away. So they do a ranged spell attack with a +2. Just do a 20. First one misses. Second one hits a 12. Is a 12?
Both of those are gonna miss. In
Okay.
her fiend form, her skin is almost bristly and not scaly, but it's very naturally tough.
So is she not thrown in the cage currently?
I think she's out of the cage, unless Alpha did where.
I think she went for it to kiss you, but she's still in like the door.
Depending how close you were, but Alpha wouldn't have. He just would have thrown her straight back from where you were at. I don't know if that would have been into the cage or just onto the ground. Kind of.
She is
He
knocked
went-
into the cage. How about that?
Okay. If she's knocked into the cage, Talash will close the door and he's going to lock it.
Okay. With that, because you don't have a key, but if this is just kind of like a padlock,
Please
you
do.
can just knock it back
Yeah.
closed. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Then, shall we try this again? It just kind of gives her like a disappointed look, like, really? And here I was trying to save you and get you out of here, and some possible revenge on Korpskey.
She grew. Let's see. She's not in your jaws, right, Alpha? You just
No,
knocked her down.
Thrown her, prone.
Yeah. So she just looks up at you, kind of like a fiendish smile on her face, but doesn't respond because it's not her turn. Is there anything else you want to do?
I would like to use a healing potion if I can.
Yep. Can
So
pop
I'm gonna
one.
go ahead and use my greater healing potion that I have.
Okay.
How much does that do?
I think greater is 44 plus 4, isn't it?
I would have to. I don't know greater off the top of my head. Regular is 2d4, so 44 makes sense.
I'm looking it up real quick.
Yeah,
I'll
greater
put
is
it in the
44
chat. It's
plus
44
4.
plus 4.
Yeah.
44.
Okay.
11.
And that brings us to Morthos. You can have your Triceratops run down too if you want.
Yes, that was the plan. Is
Does anyone in the group have anything to prevent against telepathy from allowing me to read your minds?
No.
Okay, cool. I'm just using it to see what's going on over there. That way I don't have to run over myself. And since
Okay,
it looks like you guys have that handle, I'm going to play with
Are
Gerber
you
in
actually
the
gonna read
corner.
my mind? You're actually gonna read my mind?
Not looking for actual words, just seeing what's happening over there with it.
You hear that my teeth hurt.
So see,
Teeth, oh god.
Get a
It doesn't
dentist.
seem like any of you guys need any assistance. I'm going to try to talk to a gelatinous cube
Okay.
because I want it.
Son be a
So, Adrian,
dad.
can I try to roll persuasion to convince the cube to follow me?
It would be more animal handling unless you're trying to do something else like telepathy or something like that.
Telepathy, because I don't speak gelatinous cube.
So what are you trying to do?
I want to speak in its mind and convince them that it's a good idea to follow me.
Okay.
I will free it from this awful cage.
Okay, roll percentile dice.
Oh boy. It's a 10.
So nothing happens.
Well,
It seems to be just sitting in this kind of giant jacuzzi tub looking thing which is containing it. Just sitting there, but it's a full size ooze. It's a large size.
does it look
ooze.
alive?
Yeah, it looks alive. I mean, if it's dead, it would be all melted and disintegrated.
Okay. Is there anything in this cage?
That cage is empty. It looks to be that one would have been for like fish and stuff like that, because there's a lot of like fish tanks and stuff within the box, but there's no fish in it.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk over here and look in the tent while everyone else is fighting.
Okay. Inside the tent,
Um,
you see kind of this room, but it's empty. There's nobody in here. It looks like.
I'll walk back out and tell everyone what I have discovered.
Okay.
Oh, if I can.
Yeah, you can come back out. Let's see, what would she do? She is going to shrink back into the cage to avoid the animals from attacking her if she can, which actually I guess she wouldn't really be able to because you get attacks of opportunity. So she's just going to stay where she is and kind of ball up a little bit and then close her wings around herself to try to shield her as much as she can. And then she's going to just look up at Talash and say, I haven't had a meal in months. You can hardly blame me. I can't eat a goblin. That's disgusting.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You are a flame.
And
You
some people like eat regular food, or do they do only life force?
You can maybe make a knowledge check, which should be what, I guess. I don't think Arcana really would make sense. I think
Nature or history, maybe?
I'd say more history because their fiends
Okay.
aren't native to the plane. You can tell that they can probably like eat normal sustenance and stuff, but they definitely prefer, just like a vampire would prefer to drink blood.
Mm-hmm.
They prefer to drink your life force, essentially. That's their nature. But she kind of just looks up at you and she says, you can hardly blame me.
No, I don't blame you, but I would rather not die right now. But I would like to get you all out of here.
I can work with that. She looks over at the direwolf and saber-toothed tiger and kind of like tries to inch away a little bit. Actually, she inches towards the gate where you just locked it, towards Talash, almost like she prefers you over the animals. In the background,
wolf and saber-toothed tiger. I would prefer the until.
I'm
Yeah.
about to start. Are we still in initiative?
At this point, if you're not going to actively attack her, it'd be Alpha's turn next. Are you going to be attacking her?
Intimidate.
You're rolling Intimidate. Tess, are you going to actively attack?
Well, I'm not going to actively attack, but my teeth hurt, so I'm going to start gnawing on the cage.
Okay. So yeah, so we'll drop out of initiative.
Can I actually roll it to see if my gnawing on the cage is intimidating? I really want to do this. What is it? What do you use for intimidate?
That would be
Charisma?
charisma, I think. But yeah, Alpha, you like bare your fangs at her, and she like falls backwards away from you and starts scrambling away. She
didn't mean to roll. Did not mean to roll twice. I was.
It's fine. You would have gotten advantage anyways. But she transforms into her elf maiden form, trying to get any possible advantage
Sympathy.
she can get. Sympathy.
The
Make a good chew toy.
anything. Where's the closest animal I can see in a cage? This one's empty. You
The
said.
dog. That one is covered. When Talash looked earlier, it looked like it was empty as well. The dog appears open and barking. You'd seen there was the little cat. What is this one?
So this one's empty or covered or both?
It's both, but you wouldn't be able to see inside it.
And also empty. Gelatinous cube he's dealing with, and they're hard to deal with. So after intimidating, he's gonna move over here and see what he can do about the lock without leaving direwolf form.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how you want to try to go about it, I would assume just make a bite attack on it to wrench the lock off.
$12.
Do you want to call me over?
Would you like some assistance from Talash in his lockpicking?
I can't really speak in the wolf form, but he just kind of we just kind of look at you, probably look at the two of you after that thing retreated back, and just kind of go and just scan the cages. Goes to the nearest one that has something that hasn't attacked one of us and tries to free it.
Yep. So in the next one, there's a whole bunch of bunnies, which is one of his most popular sales. There's a bunch of birds in these top cages here, parrots and parakeets and ducks and crows, ravens, stuff like that.
The pack and two fairies probably have moved
Yeah.
down to over here.
Yeah, everybody can pretty much regain at this point. So,
If we complete the initiative, would they come down and join us? Then
Talash,
Yeah.
are you opening any of the cages, or because she's still kind of looking up at you like this very petite, fair elf maiden, batting her eyelashes at you?
It's called a honey trap. If you didn't know that.
Kalash just kind of like leans forward with like a slightly haunting smile, saying, "I kind of like your other form a little bit better." And he gives her a wink before like heading off to assist with the dog.
She kind
And
of
he just like
drops
says,
the
"I'll be back."
she drops the facade of like trying to be all cute and innocent and vulnerable, and then just kind of smirks and transforms back into her succubus form.
Succubus count as a person, right?
She's a fiend.
The demons or devils, I forget which.
I think fiends are considered demon. Let me see.
They're demon because I think it's the Ennies, or it's the devil, the female devil form. So I'm pretty sure they're the chaotic demons.
So he'll unlock the cage for the dog for Alpha there.
Okay. Yeah, the dog jumps out. And can you speak doggish when you are in your form, or do they have any formal way of communication?
They have no formal language. I guess that's a DM call. If I can interpret dog noises.
This is not any magical creature, so I guess not. He has a collar, and the collar says Hunter, but you can name him whatever you want. And you can gain another dog companion.
Oh, so he's just a regular dog. Oh,
He's another hound type of a one, but he's a hunting dog. Did Morthos or Tess open the kitties one?
I'm gonna meow at it.
It runs over, and if you're close enough, it'll reach through and try to gently pat your nose with its paw. And if you're not close enough, it's gonna fly up, and so it's eye level with you, and then try to still do the same thing.
I would totally
Um,
let it.
Yeah.
Does she need help from Talash with the cage?
I'm gonna try to bite at the lock.
Okay.
But you can come help me because I'm not really paying attention to you. But so if you notice that I need help and want to come.
Yes.
Yeah, picking the lock is going to be a lot easier than biting it, but we can't really do that in animal form.
I did a 22 bite. My teeth are really just. I feel better now, actually. Like I should bite more locks and my teeth.
It's called toothing. It's like babies chewing on
Teething.
teething. Yeah, it's like babies chewing on the little squishy toys.
Yeah, but the hard metal toys,
Uh-huh.
So, let's see. So you got the kitty out, I presume? Today, the 22 bite will pull the lock free, and then you can open it up, and the kitty will fly out, then start purring and rubbing up against your big paws.
Can I start licking it like I'm cleaning it?
Yeah, then it
Aw.
definitely bonds with you a little bit.
I'm gonna lick it.
So what else is trapped down here that we can see?
If you explore the rest of it, you'll find that there's another giant gelatinous cube up there, and in this box there are a whole bunch of bales of hay and what looks to be like scarecrows laid out or be in the process of being made in this one. And that everything else is mundane creatures that you can free. Birds,
Scarecrows?
animals, stuff.
He would certainly go along and either bite or let him pick locks and just he's got no way of speaking with them without using speak with animals. He can't do that in human. But he also there's no threat. He also, if a threat comes up, he wants to be in wolf form. So I guess he's gonna try to let them hopefully either follow us or find their own way out. Maybe he'll speak with animals afterwards if he gets knocked out of his wolf form. But for now he's just freeing them. But things like the gelatinous cube, I think he thinks of a little more mindless. So he would wait until later to do things like the cube or a demon that had always shown hostility.
So as Morthos dresses the succubus in the cage, and
Flush also says this in Abyssal.
So yeah, he says, "Who do you serve, weakling?" And then Talash, you respond back, "Not the best way to speak to a lady, Morthos." Morthos is saying, "It's not really a lady either." And the succubus inside the cage, kind of still holding her arm where she got mauled pretty badly from Alpha, stands up and kind of looks very haughty, and she's going to say that she serves the great Fire Lord of the Fire Plains.
Oh, that guy.
Morthos is probably gonna. I'll let Morthos decide what Morthos does.
Yeah, that guy wants your head. Or your service, at least. Oh.
She responds back as Morthos says, "One weakling serving another." And she says, "Maladar is a great one."
Maladar. Nope, never heard of him. Not worth my time.
You have the owl mascot too, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. All of the animals, so they just hear all this in Abyssal, which is probably like it's demon speech. It's very, very grisly. Like she looks over at Talosh and says, and she says this in Abyssal as well, as, you know our language. I'm beginning to like you more and more.
It pays to know some fun words and things. And people. He gives her a wink.
How about you let me out and we can show each other some more things?
I'm face holding right now.
Can you understand Abyssal?
No, that's Becca, I think, out of
Oh.
character.
Of course, Becca comes.
Kitty cat is licking the kitty.
Yep.
Well, that depends what your intentions are.
I want to get out of here. I want to be free again.
Besides that,
So Morthos walks off. Morthos, what are you doing?
No, I'll stop that. I'm gonna try to talk to Gerbert again. Well, this Gerbert.
Okay.
Go talk
The
to
green
the
one?
other Gerbert in a
Okay.
minute.
Can roll a D100.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do it with telepathy, at least. Okay, so that's a
I'm rolling in
52.
GM.
It's a 52. You seem to connect with it, but it's like if you were physically running your hand across a big bowl of jello. That's like all your telepathy seems to feel. There's nothing there really. But yeah, nothing happens apart from it.
Damn cube. Just love me.
There's another one up there if you want to try on the purple one.
It's not going to be
Fluffy,
an
watch
easy
the.
thing to do because they're almost mindless. But, I mean, it's not impossible.
I've had a Gerbert before.
I can cast animal
I just threw
friendship.
that one
if
at people.
we wait.
You what?
I can cast animal friendship if we wait a little bit, and that might give you more time or
the only
advantage.
thing is, oozes aren't really animals. They're considered ooze.
Yep, they have an intelligence of 1. Are you,
Low enough for me to cast the spell.
if you're gonna try to mind touch this one as well, you can roll another percentile dice.
After
Nat 100,
three
come on.
mundane animals,
The
he would
73 is a lot better.
So
heal.
that
I'm gonna go ahead and unlock the cage.
okay. Just as you're doing that, let me just finish with Morthos, because with a 73, you would feel a little bit more of something in here. Not sentience or anything, but and it's definitely not an intelligent thing. It's like Eric said, it's kind of like a vacuum cleaner. But yeah, this you might be able to do more with this one than the other if you were to try to tame it or convert it to your side or whatever.
Okay, we're gonna keep talking with this one then. The other Gerbert didn't like me.
So as Morthos is trying to speak with this ooze, Talashi opened the door, or unlocked the door and open it. She stands back up and carefully steps out, trying not to make any sudden movements against you.
I like how Tess moves away into a straight line.
Hi, kitty.
So, oh my goodness, you guys have so many animals over there. Pretty amazing.
I don't know necessarily assume. Well, I don't know if everything's gonna be kept, but
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, the
So,
dog could certainly join the pack. I don't know if Fairy's sticking around.
so Talasha, the succubus just looks at you for a little, like almost like a cue. Like, what is she supposed to do? Are you gonna kill her or let her go? Or
Well, tell her that she is welcome to travel with him if she wishes, as long as she doesn't try to kill him, hit any of the guildmates or animal companions.
how about I follow you at least out of the cave and we can go from there? I don't know where you're from or what you're doing or where you live. This isn't my world. I'm from the plane of fire.
And Morthos cast Banish on her. Actually, I don't think Morthos would want to even do that.
Morthos can, but it's not really worth his time. It's just a lowly succubus.
And back up there, Morthos. Are you gonna try one more time to speak with this thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. 67.
So at this point, nothing's really happened apart from that it's just kind of gotten a little bit more neutral towards you. But it's still just a big giant blob, a 5x5 huge cube of jello. But it's
Huge cube of jello.
Yeah.
It's 5x5.
That's a small one, but that's
God.
probably a good thing for you. They're
Yeah.
normally 10x10.
Are they? I don't have that open. It's a size large, so yeah, I guess it would be a 10x10. This is the normal one from just the monster manual, so yeah, it would be a 10x10.
Big ass cube. All right.
So, yeah, if you want to try to get it up to one of the mine carts, or what do you want to do?
Is it in a cage or is it in a jacuzzi like the other one was?
The cage is basically like the jacuzzi. It's kind of made so it can't get out of it without external assistance.
I'm gonna open it and let it out.
Okay. Roll another percentile dice,
God.
and you can add your charisma to it to roll.
My charisma modifier, or my charisma itself.
Itself.
So that's a 54 because I have 24 charisma.
Okay. So it goes all the way up to you, and instead of enveloping you, it just kind of squishes slightly against you, and you will take 6 points of acid damage as it kind of just sludges up to you, and it oozes around your form without engulfing you, and then it kind of eases off.
I didn't hear
I
anything
might.
you said after. I heard you will take, and that's it.
Oh, so you took 6 points of acid damage as it kind of oozes around your form a little bit without engulfing you, just kind of your chest and arms and stuff. It kind of touches, and then it backs up a couple inches and just stays there.
Good sign.
Was it trying to hug me?
I think it was. My mice electrocuted me the first time I held them, so you know.
Come on, Gerber. Like, slowly ooze out of the cave.
So,
If Gerber eats other oozes, does he get bigger?
You don't know.
do you want him bigger than size Lodge?
Yes, I want him bigger than size large. One ooze to rule the world.
So
Want to eat the world?
he begins to slime after you if you begin to walk.
Yay! Oh wait, I can't control them. Come here,
Okay.
ooze.
I'll check out the tent before and making sure and just kind of walk around the area and sniffing to make sure the area is safe before reverting to a humanoid form.
Okay. If you go into the tent, hold on, let me grab your mini. Inside you see Korpskey's office, if you will. There's a couple tables, a bunch of crates. He's got a very elegant king-sized bed, full on with purple and red drapes and 4-poster bed frame, all that in a corner. And it looks like the bed's not made; it's all disheveled and stuff. There's a couple.
I consider chewing on his pillow.
If you go,
If I go in there, can I do that? I want to do that.
do you want to follow?
I want to follow.
I'm gonna set up a hunting trap discreetly beneath the pillow.
Okay, hold on one
There's
second.
not
Let
going to
me.
be a pillow by the time I'm done with it. It's going to be feathers.
Let me get all of your tokens. So Talash, are you going into the thing as well?
Yeah.
So the succubus is going to start following you, considering she's eyeballing Morthos with his ooze, just kind of like not really wanting to be around him, and then you're going
Yeah,
into
I
the
don't
room
blame her on that one.
with all of the wolves and dogs and all the animals. She's sticking pretty close to you.
Fair enough.
She even dares to try to like grab you by the arm to like be the arm candy style thing.
He'll allow it. Again, as long as she's not trying to physically harm him.
Doesn't look like it. She looks like she's trying to like sidle up closer to you and get on your good side.
It's like dating poison ivy.
Yep, pretty much.
So who did I miss? Morthos, are you still outside with your ooze? So yeah, there's a big king size bed over there, and Alpha, as you're examining it, Tess kind of comes in behind you, the saber-toothed cat, and then Talash and the succubus kind of peek in after. What are you all doing?
Look for anything valuable.
Roll investigation, and the succubus will break away and actually
Hey,
also
that's
start to look.
20.
I'm looking for more goblin hiding in a trapdoor under a bed or something, something living that is hiding from us.
Okay, you can also roll a perception, an investigation check with advantage.
Oh, investigation. No, that's me. -1 with advantage.
What's your perception?
Perception's +6.
You can do that one instead then, because if you're just trying to smell them out or something like that, that's fine.
Can I look around for anything interesting to chew on?
Roll an investigation check as well. So for Talash, you find on the desk there's a scrabble of mismatched notes and papers kind of strewn over the place. On one of the back shelves, there's a whole bunch of different bottles and what looks to be potions and stuff. And then over in the right side of the tent, you can find that there's a little treasure chest where he keeps a stash of money. And then, of course, there's the bed. And then in the back, there's a bunch of different little goblin outfits, which is where Tess has found all of his different clothing and stuff. You find like kind of they're chew toys for you now, and you start to shred his closet.
Mostly the pillow I'm shredding, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah. If you're going for the pillow, then sure, that's fine too. But Alpha, you rolled a 25 on your perception. You can smell Korpskey's scent in here. He was probably here this morning and left, but there's no sign of anybody in here at this point.
At the moment.
You find a scent of chocolate kind of on the bedside, and you can see there's a huge pile of empty chocolate wrappers that he's clearly just gorged on. And
anything like ink or blood or anything I can use to make a mark.
Yeah, there's inks on the tables, and then over by the potion bottle shelf, there's lots of vials of different colors and stuff.
I knock over a bottle of ink and go to a piece of paper very obvious in the table, put my paw in it, and just put this massive, huge wolf paw on one of the piece of papers. It's like dire wolf was here, and then he's gonna go chew on the other pillow, assuming there's two.
Yep. Yeah, there's like 8. The king size bed for a goblin is like ridiculous, but yeah. So so Talash, inside the chest you find that there's actually quite a bunch of gold and platinum of different amounts. Let's see, for what are all your levels?
6 of them.
6.
So you're all 6, and then Morthos, you're I think like 11. So
11.
there'd be 3,000 gold and platinum inside that treasure chest.
Dang!
Damn.
So you can collect that if you want. Amongst the notes, Talash, you can see that it looks like the succubus is kind of looking them over, kind of paying more attention to the notes, and she seems to be taking some of them and putting them into her own belt pouch. But apart from that, on the potion shelf, there's not that much else here of value.
Can we see what was? Could he have seen what the notes were?
Yeah, it looks like different orders and stuff. Like people, like some of them are receipts, some of them are orders, some of them are letters to Korpskey. And without actually specifically investigating those, that's kind of, you would just get the gist of it.
So who all was wanting some treasure?
Meow!
The succubus raises her hand.
Who raises their? Oh, the succubus raises their hand.
And Morthos, did you want to come in the room at this point, or are you still outside, or what are you doing?
If the ooze would have had enough time to make it over there, because I know it walks
Yeah.
slower than.
Yeah, it would be able to. So you enter into the room, followed by a giant purple-hued thing.
I tell
What are
the
you gonna
cube to stay
get?
outside.
Okay.
It's Gerbert.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
It is rolling. 20.
Nice.
It tries to still follow you in, but if you keep like telling it to push back, what are you telling it? Or are you telepathy? Are you speaking to it, or mind speaking to it? I think he's muted.
He's been typing for a while now. I'm wondering if there's a reason why he's
Might
gone to
touch
text
it
only.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muting. I am mind speaking to it because I don't know if it has ears.
Okay, roll a percentile dice.
So it was Becca and the succubus that said that they wanted some of the treasure.
Sure.
I'm just trying to figure out like who all was saying that was there.
So,
Yeah.
so the
Morthos would like the treasure.
Martha would like treasure too.
So the ooze eventually stays outside. At least you feel like it might stay outside. And as you enter in, you see the scene before you: shredded pillows, feathers. You see the big dire wolf placing a paw print on the table onto parchment, and then the succubus kind of looks over at you and like steps around the table to the other side as you're coming in.
Talash would keep her near him.
Why are there feathers everywhere?
The
Because
direwolf grabbed one of the pillows and chucked it across the room at Morthos. I guess range attack disadvantage.
Yeah. And then Morthos, can you
1d1
also make?
bludgeoning damage.
Can you make a dexterity save, Morthos?
against the pillow.
Yes.
Got this. I barely got this.
So you take another 5 points of acid damage as you feel a big ooze snuggle up next to you from the back.
Damn, ooze is gonna kill me.
I just threw the pillow at you, so I'm making 5 damage from the pillow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, damn, that's a
Acid damage from
badass
the
pillow.
ooze.
What's in it?
I'm like, what kind of pillow is this?
I was
New
about
weapon.
to open that pillow up and be like, what did this hit me with? He's got a sack of gold in his pillow.
No, it's the ooze. He came inside.
Damn it, Gerbert. I don't even know how to reprimand this thing. It doesn't speak.
I mean, you could try to talk to it again unless you have any other ideas.
No, we're just gonna like it can follow me in at this point. Like it's better than getting hugged.
Yeah, it kind of mindlessly.
Gotta find some acid resistant armor.
Yep. So yeah, what do you guys want to do? So far, you've kind of trashed his den a little bit. You've stolen his gold. You've freed all his pets. Is there anything else that you want to do?
At this point, he's starting to feel
gonna-
relatively safe. He could leave his direwolf form, but we haven't left yet. So
I'm really skeptical of that person. So yeah.
Succubus.
Yeah.
She doesn't address you because you're a cat still, but she's staying close to Talash as much as she can.
And she's on the other side of the table
I'm
from
gonna
him.
point at the ooze and I'm gonna point at his bed and see if the ooze will go mess up his bed.
Okay. Nothing happens if you're just pointing.
and there's still a direwolf relaxing on the bed.
Wait, I thought I was over by the bed.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so we were both on the
The
bed.
bed.
The bed's on the
Never mind.
right.
If there's people on the bed, I'm not going to do that. I didn't know anyone was on the bed.
I'll
So
get off the bed.
the dial.
Sorry.
I'm still probably chewing on a pillow on the bed. But now there's less room since there's no longer a saber-tooth tiger and a wolf.
Okay, I think.
I still don't think there's quite enough room for the ooze, so he'll just hug me, I guess.
Yeah. Once he's done that, it oozes off a little bit, so it's right behind you.
I think it just wants to stay with you. I think it wants you to be its friend.
I'm its
Okay.
mother now. Come on,
You are
ooze.
its mother.
Does Talash share any gold with Mortha?
I'll turn back into a human form, and I tell Lupin to stay in his animal form. And can I do talk with animals?
Okay. So Tess, you emerge from your wild shape and stand before everybody as the blue elf. And what do you tell them?
I say, Alpha, stay in your animal form, but I do speak with animals. Did you want any gold? Shall I procure any for you?
I would like some gold. And she looks over
I
at
didn't ask you.
Well, Lupin would say it's like there is one thing that I've been trying to save up for, but I don't need coin. Completing this task was reward.
I'll say he'll take some. No,
what is Tessney's charisma?
pretty low. I have an 8.
Oh, she kind of gives you the nose a little bit and kind of looks back to Talash and says, she just looks at Talash and you can roll an insight.
The huge direwolf kind of might rub his head like a dog would affectionately against the Tessney's hand.
Yeah, I would stand next to Lupin and scratch behind your ear.
Yeah, Tawashi can definitely see that the succubus is looking at you like a, I suppose I can't eat her.
No, you can't eat her.
She like snaps her fingers in disappointment.
It, I'm uncertain of what we are planning to do next.
Lupin said at least it's not an
Actually-
abomination.
Yeah. Can I like lurk around the room since I'm in human form?
Yep, what do you want to do?
Those papers you took, what was on them? I'm curious about them. I ask her.
Who, me?
Yes.
She holds up her hand. I didn't take anything.
Just because I was a cat doesn't mean.
When she said I didn't take anything, 17 on intimidate growl.
She steps back around the table so there's a distance between, and then kind of pulls into her belt pouch and like pulls out a letter and tosses it on the table. It's just paper. I didn't take any gold or anything.
Can I take a look at the paper?
Yep. It is not an invoice, but a work order signed by Count Zaroff, the Orc Warlord, and it's requesting basically issue out the materials and the scarecrows immediately, prepayment in advance, 1,000 gold.
Why did you need this?
It looked interesting.
Okay. Well, I think we should check out those scarecrows.
Mm.
I take a note of what the information on it is.
Okay.
And as I'm literally taking notes.
Good. So,
Scarecrow. Well, I think
If she says that stuff out loud, Lupin thinks back to the war horn the orc war horn he has.
yeah, we've encountered these people before. I would definitely want to take this to return to the guildmaster, because I think he would have use for knowing this particular information. Is the guildmaster still out of commission?
yep, the guildmaster is currently in a coma, and the acting guildmaster is Delric, the elf wizard, who is not doing a
Lord help us all.
terribly great
Okay.
job at guildmastering.
Yeah, but he started
I
doing
missed something.
help.
What?
How did the guildmaster get put in a coma?
Media swarm.
Yeah, he expended too much magical energy and has been in a coma since.
Oh, wow, what did I miss?
Meteors falling from the moon. Second moon, actually.
What you did?
For out of character, if you want to see what happened, you can watch
Cthulhu's
the
Fathom.
Warforged Dreams streamed game.
It was a really fun game.
Alright, I appreciate that.
It's incredibly fun.
Wrapping up this game, is there anything else you want to do within this tent? You've got pretty much most of everything.
I was actually going to roll. Did I roll for search? I was actually going to look around the room as well.
Okay.
Galoshes collects the coins from the chest into his bag.
Okay, and how are you distributing it? Even split? Is 750 each, or are you doing it on odd split?
Talasha is going to put a bag of 1,500 on the table for the party.
Okay, so 15 for you and 500 for everyone else.
That seems completely fair.
I mean, nobody else knew how much was in the chest.
Very Talosh thing to do.
I mean,
Yeah,
if he's about to start having to take care of a succubus.
Oh, yeah.
Expensive tastes.
Exactly.
500 platinum?
It's in a mixed match, so you can add your choice of 50 platinum or 500 gold, however you prefer. If that's the way you're splitting it.
Yeah.
Well, he is he understands gold is useful for getting things. He isn't one that seeks it out. So whatever was offered to him, he would take without questioning.
How about Morthos? How does he feel about that?
Morthos would have done the same thing. So he's not gonna. He's just gonna take his 500 gold and smile.
Okay.
He's
The,
gonna
suc-
smile at
Still a decent amount.
succubus.
the succubus holds out her hand kind of expectantly towards Talash.
He whispers to her, "You'll get you something later," and he winks at her.
Gosh.
She will retract her
I think
hand and
it's
just
time
kind
for
of
me to
shrug.
leave the tent now.
So
all six. Is it 6 dogs now? Yeah, 5.
yeah,
all
4
6
plus
dogs.
2 plus yourselves.
Yeah.
So your
I want
pack
to
is
look at
7.
the scarecrows as they flirt.
All 6 dogs follow Tess.
So is anybody else doing anything in this tent? Otherwise, we'll shift back. Well, wrong.
Well, if there's nothing else of importance in here, what kind of potions were there?
You can roll an investigation.
Okay, investigation. Nat 20. Goddamn.
Okay, so you find that there are a mixture of different ones. There are 4 potions marked animal, and then there are 3 healing potions that are just normal. There's a 4th one which is a greater, and then there are a bunch of minor potion ingredients and stuff which are not yet like crafted.
He'll just snag it all up.
Okay, and then for Lupin and Morthos, you are both still in the room. You see him taking these.
No, Lupin. The dogs. All the
Oh, you
dogs
left too?
follow Tess.
Okay, I missed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Morthos sees him taking these.
Do you do anything, Morthos, or after that, are you all leaving?
Oh, sorry. You cut out. I'm just gonna watch as Talash loots the place and laugh hysterically.
Okay.
Because no one else gets anything.
Okay, so if that's the case, unless you're doing anything else, then you can exit back out into the main area. Basically taking
well,
everything in
Try
there.
to not walk through the queue.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
there was animal potions.
Can I detect magic on these scarecrows?
yeah, you can cast Detect Magic as a ritual or as normal. You can tell that they have been attempting to animate these scarecrows. There's a bunch of old clothes and stuff kind of stuffed together to be scarecrows, but they're not made yet.
Does anybody have a problem with burning these?
You know, I was just thinking about the same with the tents. Let's see about loading them into the tent, filling the place with oil.
Well, I think. Do you put a trap on the bed or no? With those.
He probably wouldn't have had a chance until after we left, but
Oh.
So if you want to destroy the scarecrows, you can do so. If you want to destroy the tent, you can do so. We've freed all the animals basically at that point. The only other real thing is that you have the succubus, but it sounds like you're kind of letting her tag along under the agreement. She won't try to life drain you at all. So are you all at the point where you're prepared to leave, or is there anything else that you want to do within Korpskey's hideout?
as long as we're prepared to leave, he's prepared to leave.
Burn the scarecrows unless somebody else has something else they want to do with them.
Yep, burn the scarecrow.
Okay, so you
That's
torch that. Thick
And
black
the
smoke
straw.
pours out from it, but it's destroyed. What else did you say?
And the straw, too.
It's all destroyed.
Perfect.
Anything else?
And Talash will leave Korpskey a note, like a a dagger stabbing a note to the wall type of thing, saying, "Hey, Korpskey, thanks for the animals. We'll be back for your sorry ass later."
Okay, noted.
Signed, your Reaper.
There is a note with a giant wolf paw on it that you could use.
Just add to it.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to sign it?
I have no need.
The succubus will.
Gerbert will.
Yeah, Talash would look to Succubus. Do you want to add anything?
She just picks up one of the ink bottles and tries to find a red ink, and she just draws a teardrop on it, and then tosses the pen on the ground.
Making a mental note of that teardrop as well.
And I actually make a history with that one.
Sure.
History.
As soon as we're actually ready to leave, he would revert back to human form and to speak with animals to try to get all the animals that he can into the outgoing carts so we can bring them to the exit.
Yeah, those cute little bunnies. Can I just pet one? I just want to hold it and pet it. Oh, I also have a kitty. Too many fluffy things to pet. Oh,
So, Talash, with
real
your history,
trouble. It's right here.
you don't have any specific knowledge about what that might represent, unless maybe it's some form of demonic sect of the succubi, potentially. But you don't have anything specific that you would associate it with.
In that case, I'll kind of like look at her quizzically.
She disregards your look and turns
Okay.
to leave.
He will lead Lilith and his new fairy friend out, along with the Succubus.
Okay, so you all get up to the minecart, and to exit the mine, are you gonna just walk it, or are you gonna try to take the minecart?
I think we could take the minecart and put animals in it to get them closer to the exit.
Okay. For simplicity's sake, we'll just say there's enough room for everybody. There's more minecarts on this side because now you have a giant ooze, a triceratops, and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
There is still the third lever. It is now pushed down. Do you touch that one at all?
I feel there's a right answer to this, but I don't know.
Can we do it and without?
He doesn't know about mechanics. I wouldn't touch it.
Can I roll an investigation and to see what the levers do?
Mhm.
With the one.
I touched the third one earlier and nothing happened.
Well, that or you just didn't see what happened. My full plus 0. Ha! I have no idea.
It's the same thing as the other side. Is you don't see or hear or think anything is happening with the third lever,
No.
but it
She's
just clicks back and
Pulling
forth.
it. I'm in the area. Do I see anything with a perception of 9?
No, you don't.
I'm gonna fall to our death.
So where do you leave it? Forwards or back?
When we followed the track, did the track take us back to the way we came from?
Are you gonna go explore it? There was no offshoots of the track when you were walking it. It was just a there and back, except for that big opening with the trestle almost, where the track just arced over.
This would be track we haven't gone on yet. It would just most likely be going back to our starting point.
Yep, you would know that it does because you saw the other tracks were parallel to each other, so there's one going there and one going back.
Yeah. Sorry. Just got a notification that the Good Place is back.
What's that?
Good Place is a show on Netflix.
Oh, cool.
I've heard of it, never seen it, but I wouldn't. Honestly, I think out of game, I think there's something
I
weird
think-
with the third lever, but in game, he wouldn't know. He wouldn't care.
Can I go explore the track and have them change the lever like every 5 seconds as I'm going down the track until I figure out what happens?
You can. Do you do so?
I think that would
I
be.
wouldn't let you go off by yourself in an unknown. I would with unknown danger.
You're both out of wild shape, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we should take a long rest until we get the wild shapes back.
That's just a short rest for wild shapes.
Yeah, I
So,
think we should take a short rest.
If you want to take the time to scout it out, or do you just want to rest first and then do it in wild shape? Because there's no more combat, so it's just getting all your.
Okay, yeah, then
up.
I'll just do it. I'll do it in my regular form. Well, wild
I don't
shape.
know about sitting around here for an hour doing nothing, because Korpskey could come back with a host of guards and us not being prepared.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just do it in our human forms.
Okay, so if you want to go scout out the track, it'll take you a while to get up to the point where there's the gap in the bridge almost. But if you have Morthos, Repeated, or Talash, or whoever back at the other base, repeatedly pulling the lever, you'll see that the tracks separate on the opening over the river, and then they close, and then they separate, and then they close, and then they separate, and then they close.
That makes perfect sense.
Can I run back and tell? I figured it out. There's like a fence or a track that opens and closes, and either we fall to our death or we don't, depending on which direction that lever is pointing.
That could have been very bad, and we're running back.
So what do you want to do?
I volunteer somebody else to go see at what point it's at right now in this position.
Okay, so that'll just take like another hour or so, but yeah, you can solve the problem. Pushing it back is the correct one. So when Morthos accidentally pushed it back, he deactivated the trap, and then you left it unactivated, so you were able to cross in a minecart if you wanted to, but you didn't. So now you can use the minecart safely if you want to go back quicker.
Yes, we want to go back on the minecart.
Especially loading up the minecart with bunnies and kitties and.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, there's all the little stuff too.
I volunteer Morthos to be in the cart with the gelatinous cube.
Yes.
So there's a crank of the lever, and then the mine carts begin to launch forwards a little bit. There's the signature cranking noise, almost like if you're going on a roller coaster up a hill as it's climbing up, and then it starts to launch down and go up and down the curves, back and forth. The
Bunny's first roller coaster.
Yeah, everybody has a fantastic time. The minecart goes over the bridge safely, and then arrives at the interior mine station, to where you are able to collect everybody and get back to the surface. And from there, I would like the three of you who have the sprites to roll a final persuasion check.
I don't anticipate being able to actually keep this with my whole -1 persuasion. Oh my god!
Oh.
So, Alpha, you unfortunately are not able to persuade this. Tess, you are the only one who are. So your little sprite is willing to stay with you actually for a little bit longer. Not indefinitely, but you can utilize her for one more game after this before she leaves.
I would thank her for her assistance and just kind of make friends, but not really. But wouldn't care if she left her to do her own thing.
Yep. Well, she thanks you for freeing her, and then she asks for directions to the nearest entrance to the Feywild, to which you may or may not have an answer, but she will. The Fey sprites will try to go from there and get back home.
Talash will
I
wave
mean, I
and
can
thank
just
them.
offer to banish them, can't I?
If you wanted to.
I will offer.
I guess that would be the two named ones, Yuki and Gwen. they are the ones that are.
I named mine finally, actually.
Oh, I think it copied and pasted off screen. Sorry.
They may show up later on as other NPCs later on, but they don't need to be staying around with us.
So, with that being said, you reach out. All the bunnies, the animals, the birds fly away. The snakes slither into the grasses. All the animals get away. You're left
So
amongst
Talosh can
yourselves.
technically speak parcel tongue.
Yeah, you could have told the
Because he
snakes.
can actually cast the animal friendship with snakes unlimited times.
So you just had like this whole horde of snakes that all like burst out, and so there's some are garden snakes. There's a python. There's a
So
couple
Lupin
different ones.
walks around with a ton of dogs. You walk around with a whole horde of snakes.
So like you could just imagine like Lilith just has like snakes circling around her horns, just like just relaxing against like across her back. Talosh just has one on his arm around his neck.
Can I speak with animals? Ask my kitty if it wants to stay with me, or actually ask it where its home is.
The kitten was born in prison, not in prison, but in a captivity.
Oh no! I'll keep you keep you safe if you like. So we find a place that you want to stay.
I can give you the stats for it, but the kitten has flight ability. It has 5 hit points, an armor of 10, I think. No, because it's got higher dexterity because of flight, so it would be an armor of 14, and it has no other special abilities.
In Abyssal, Talosh will ask the succubus if she would like to join him.
She asks you in Abyssal where to.
Traveling the world a bit
Alone?
and visiting the guild. Here, there's a new town up the way named Medusa's Smile. They've been having some fun adventures, it sounds like.
She says that it sounds like fun, and she would take your arm.
I get a dog. Tess gets a flying cat. You get a succubus girlfriend.
Morthos gets a gelatinous cube.
I get a Gerbert.
I'll check
Gerbert
on
ever.
the price, but before you do that, how many times would you talk to it between now and the end of the game?
How many times have I?
Yeah, how
Or
many
would I?
would you? Because every time you cast telepathy on you, you have to roll a percentile dice.
I feel
the
at least like 7 to try to get it over here.
Okay, then roll 7 percentile dice. See if it connects with that one spot of your mind.
Before we left, we have no connection to the other Atlantis cube, but I would at least opened up the cage for it to roam around the camp.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
It
Why
would.
do I get the feeling that Morthos would have his Gelatinous Cube try to absorb the other?
94.
So for Alpha, if you let out the other gelatinous cube, it would just kind of meander around and slowly start to chase you all until like it was either blocked off or you could outrun it. But
It's
for
So basically, cue Yakety Sax.
exactly. Now, for Morthos, as you're finally getting off of it, and what do you tell it? As you're getting up from
tell
this.
it that I'm its friend, and I'm going to try to. I'm trying to make it stronger and bigger and smarter. For the love of God, smarter.
A headband of intelligence on a gelatinous cube.
And that I love its hugs very much. Ow, ow, ow.
Still the headband of intelligence inside the gelatinous cube.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to find a game, and I have so many folders now that I'm getting lost. There it is. So there's a split moment where you are trying to get this gelatinous cube to get out of the mine cart, and you finally get it to follow you over, and then you're going up the stairs, and there's a moment of frustration as it's not like following what you're wanting it to do. And then there's a moment where you talk to it, but there's a portion of your mind, as you are very well aware, that has been broken for a very long time, having been connected to the Great Old One. And there's a moment where he surfaces and connects to the gelatinous cube, and there's a flash within the cube itself. And for a moment, it says, "Ah!" And then after that, it's a little bit more intelligent, but it will follow you around and take orders and can be an animal companion.
It's gone from ooze intelligence to animal intelligence, basically.
Gone from ooze intelligence to first ooze intelligence crazy.
Yes, it is now an insane gelatinous cube with an intelligence of, let's say, 5? Is that fair?
I think animal friendship, if a creature has over 4 or higher, the spell fails. So
Okay, so 4
Yeah, I
or
would-
3?
Yeah.
I would say 4.
Whatever it counts as to where animal friendship spell would work. If it has to be a 3, then it can get bumped up to that. But it is now an insane gelatinous cube, but it will follow your instructions.
So it has an intelligence of 3.
Technically, animal intelligence is still 1 in stat block, but I would imagine the animal is still more intelligent than your standard ooze. So,
And
So,
also slightly crazier.
so you have a gelatinous cube companion.
Feel
So
about that, Martha.
so for Tess and
Number
Alpha,
3.
Tess and Alpha. So you guys, are you splitting ways at this point, or
He wouldn't want to.
I think we're going back to the guild is what I was planning on doing.
so you're kind of headed off in the same direction? What about Morthos? Where are you headed next? Are you breaking up or headed back to the guild as well?
Morthos is gonna continue his search for that item that he needs that you know of.
That's right. So you go off on your own. And Talash, where are you going?
It's a new crazy girlfriend.
Yeah. Like I said, there sounds like there's been some bunch of excitement with apparently a Greek god and all that. Medusa smiles, so he's kind of curious to see what's happening up there. Also, heard it's a new place. Might be able to snag himself a shop of his own.
You say Medusa smile and I hear laughing coffin.
So as soon as you're kind of separated and breaking ways, she's very flirty with you. She would introduce her name as Mara, and when you end up getting to the point where you're going to set up camp, she is going to attempt to kiss you again. So I would need you to roll
Careful that one.
I would need you to
Yes.
roll a DC 15 Constitution save.
He tells her if she is going to drain some of his life force, only a little.
Okay. If you tell her that, then she will actually obey, and she will not try to suck you to death.
Yeah.
But she will.
That's a good thing too, because that's that roll.
Yep.
Looks
So,
like
so that
see
one.
that about those.
Like
Oh,
he doesn't, he,
Yeah.
he would not, he does not mind sharing some of his life force with her because he can always regain that, as long as she doesn't try to suck him dry.
Okay. So this is pretty much the end. So Morthos is your. Thanks for playing. We're all gonna pretty much end here in just a moment. But Talash, you saved that relationship by authorizing her with guidelines, because she'll go ahead and kiss you and steal some of your life, but she will not kill you, and she will actually be happy to stick around with you for the time being. So that will be Mara the succubus, Talash's girlfriend. And that pretty much concludes the game on the raid of Korpskey's Lair. So I'll give out a bunch of stats for everything that everybody got, but I hope everyone had fun, and thank you for playing on my birthday game.
Woo! Happy
Once again, happy
birthday!
birthday! And apparently, Talash now has a succubus girlfriend for who knows how long.
Yep, be careful with that one.
Yeah.
Careful.
Alrighty, well, I'm going to end the recording, and we'll post it online later. But thank you all for playing. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye bye.